Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is Wrestling News. I am Wrassing. You're watching Impact Wrestling Watchalong, but even more, you're watching Wrassing, which means that every show that Wrassing is on turns out to be the Wrassing Show. Welcome to Impact Wrestling Watchalong. Welcome to Wrassing Show. That's right. Every show that Wrassing is on, it turns out to be the Wrassing Show. And today, we're going to be watching Impact Wrestling. It's supposed to be a good event. It's supposed to be a promising event. Lots to discuss, lots to talk about. I'm excited, and I know you are as well. Impact Wrestling is one of the companies that has been overlooked by the fans for a great. Good to see everybody tuning in. Thank you so much, Jake. Good to see you, brother. US boy, WWE. Good to see you. I know you're one of our newer fans. Welcome to the family. Welcome to our wrestling news community. Being a part of it, we're very happy to have you here. Welcome to it, and welcome to Wrestling News. Thank you for being a part of Wrestling News. And I must say, and also Fashion Smooch, very new part. Uh, Thank you so much for being a part. Thank you for being a member of Wrestling News. You guys are awesome. And as I like to say, everybody, you guys are a part of Wrestling News. You are all in it. You are part of the family. You are partners. You're all part of Wrestling News. Good to see everybody here. Now, Impact Wrestling is a promotion that's been overlooked for the longest time by a lot of people. But now it's finally getting the attention that it deserves. And here we are. We're doing a watch along for Impact Wrestling because it's forced us to do it, right? It's made that the tides have turned. It's made that table turn. It's said that, hey, wrestling fans, you're not going to care about us. We're going to give you a show. We're going to give you the talent that is going to make you care. And that's why we care. And Chris is here. Chris, good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. Impact Wrestling should be wild. We have Chelsea Green in action. We've got the Inspirations own partners in action. It should be a very good show. I'm just tuning in right now. Do you guys have Impact as Wrestling on already? Let me know. Love the red color syncing. That's right. Every time we do a show, I pay close attention to the colors. I pay close attention to everything. So if we're doing Impact, I have to be dressed in red. If we're doing SmackDown, I have to be dressed in blue. I really pay close attention when it comes to stuff like that. It's important, isn't it? You can't just show up in blue and try to watch Monday Night Raw. No, for Monday you have to go all red, right? That's how we roll. Thank you so much for paying attention to the colors. You're awesome. Yes, that's right. The attire matters. Attires matter, little things matter, and you gotta pay attention to every little detail. That's about it. And I'm also watching BTI. That's basically it's BTI going off the air soon because it's a 30-minute show that happens before Impact Wrestling, and we can see that it's going off the air right now. Cool stuff. T's channel says, "Can we buy online?" Oh, I mean, I think you mean the merch that you want to buy online. Yeah, yeah, sure. The merch can be bought online and it will be able to be bought very, very soon. We'll send you and we'll share the link to the merch shop very soon once it's set up. It's going to be available online for sure. And look, JV's here. Good to see you. Asian looking like a red tomato. That's right. You know what, guys? Tomato is good for health, and Wrestling News is great for your entertainment. The only source that you should be tuning into when it comes to wrestling news, because you can really rely on wrestling news when it gets to your daily wrestling news coverage, as well as round the clock breaking news stories. Right? I mean, we got online not once but twice or thrice. I mean, this is a third time going online today because the first time we went online was for the whole uh, WWE and Russia thing, that how they canceled their network in Russia. The second time we went live for it was for the Pat McAfee show, and the third time we're going live today is for Impact Wrestling. So 3 times a day we're live, and we're gonna be live 5, 6, 7, 10 times a day when it comes to breaking news stories. Nothing stopping us. We're gonna be here, and nothing stopping us from giving you the breaking news stories in wrestling that you deserve. Good to see everybody. Thank you for the love. I'm ready for the show. Are you ready for the show? Are you ready for Impact Wrestling? That is the question that I want the answers to. And as we can see, Impact Wrestling is slowly going on air. We're getting an opening package, an opening vignette from Steve Macklin. We're here from Steve Macklin right now. Look at that. Is that not suspicious? I kept that same faith when they allowed Kenny Omega to challenge for our Impact World title. Every time I see Kenny Omega's one-winged angel, no matter it's being hit live or it's being hit, as a replay, I love watching it. Kenny Omega's one-winged angel is such a dangerous move and such a well-executed move. It's just beautiful. I love it. Which match are you most excited? There's a lot to be excited of, especially Chelsea Green in action, the Good Brothers in action. Tonight's Impact Wrestling show is supposed to be stacked, and I'm looking forward to every single match of the card. Should be a good one.
Everybody is talking about Bullet Club, and rightfully so. Time up. I had to make an executive decision for the betterment of Bullet Club business.
Your life is a funny statement. Is when I make a deal, it's permanent. Our business going forward is done, but you owe us a shot.
It's interesting. That's right. Tenille Dashwood as well. Look at that. This is the number one contender. And let's not forget Sacrifices this Saturday, which means tonight's show is the go-home for Sacrifice. The tides can turn, everything can happen. I'm looking forward to it. And Tenille Dashwood is the number one contender, says Chris. Interesting. Who do you think is going to be fighting... Wait. Just trying to think about it right now. Actually trying to think of my own predictions. But who do you think is going to be challenging Deonna Purrazzo's open challenge at Sacrifice? Who could it be? Do you see Britt Baker possibly challenging her, since now AEW, ROH on the same boat now? Tony Khan owns both the companies. Of course, he can move talents from here and there. Of course, ROH and Impact has been in such a working relationship. Currently, ROH's world title is with Impact Wrestling. So could we be seeing Britt Baker or any of the AEW stars actually accepting Deonna Purrazzo's challenge this Saturday at Sacrifice? Could it be happening? Let me know, what do you think? Have you ever had food cooked by Gordon Ramsay food? Yes, I have had Gordon Ramsay food. Yep, pretty good. Actually, not his. I'm not sure if it's his or one of his chefs, but I've been to his restaurants a few times, so yeah. Kicking off with Eddie Edwards, right? Yeah, I don't mind any Eddie. Give me Eddie Kingston. Give me Eddie Edwards. Give me any Eddie you want from professional wrestling, and I know it's going to be great. I mean, name one Eddie in wrestling today who isn't good, right? All the Eddies are good. All the Eddies have the factor that you want to cheer for them. You want to get behind them. And it's funny. The common thing about all of them is the Eddie. And I'm loving it. Yeah, Eddie Edwards looks like he's a man on a mission. He's ready to go. He's not here to waste time. He's not here to cut promos. He's here to talk. He's not here to talk. He's here to wrestle. He's here to fight. And that's what I like about both Eddie Edwards and, again, Eddie Kingston. No talking, more fighting. Just get down to business. And look who's here. Deonna Purrazzo's fiance is here, Steve Macklin. And I spoke with Deonna Purrazzo, and when Steve Macklin, that's right, he's on fire. And I first spoke to I first spoke with Deonna Purrazzo when Steve Macklin first got in Impact Wrestling. And Deonna Purrazzo was just so excited and just so happy to see Steve on Impact. She said that, you know what, Steve Macklin was held back by the WWE, by his former employers for the longest time. They were not able to use him to even the slightest of his potential. Now that he's free, he can do his thing. He's going to be, a lion. He's going to be a guy, an animal without the chains, without the shackles. He's going to be free. He's going to run wild, and he's going to show the world what he is all about. And what I'm looking at right now, the Steve Macklin that I'm looking at right now, I can tell this is a Steve Macklin that Deonna Purrazzo was talking about. This guy is not here to talk trash. He's not here to be one of the Forgotten Sons. He's here to wrestle. He's here to do what he does best, that he's doing right now. I mean, look at that. When Eddie Edwards first got here, you thought that Eddie Edwards was here on a mission. He was here with all the passion and all the determination in the world to win this thing. But Steve Maclin gets here and turns the table around in no time. Doesn't waste a second before he starts laying the smack down on Eddie Edwards. Yes, Eddie Edwards did try to turn the tables there for a split second, but look at that. Steve Maclin with that beautiful dive onto Eddie Edwards. I mean, right now, Eddie is down, of course, thanks to the padding. If you pay attention to Impact Wrestling, unlike its competitors, the ramp also is protected. The ramp also has padding. So good for them. But again, that's something that they have to do because in other competitors, I'm not talking about AEW because their stage is weird, but let's talk about WWE. Their ramp is way off. It's way off from the ring. So, even when you have such dives or such high-flying moves, wrestlers don't usually end up in the ramp. They end up in the ringside area, which is large enough. So only the ringside area is the one with the padding, and the ramp is usually left without the padding. But Impact Wrestling is a pretty, comparatively very small venue, so they have to pad everything up, including the ramp. Even the stage is padded, and it's okay. Wrestlers' safety, it comes before anything else, and we can appreciate that. Why not? We appreciate that. So since TK owns ROH, does that mean ROH will go to AEW along with Impact? So what we've been hearing so far, Chris, is that Tony Khan owns ROH. That's true. He made that announcement last night. But what also Tony Khan said was that, backstage, what being said is that it's not what Tony Khan has said it himself, but backstage, the talk is that Tony Khan intends on using ROH as a developmental territory, which means that he wants to use ROH as WWE used to once use OVW before NXT was around the corner, as WWE used to use FCW before NXT again was around the corner, as WWE used to use NXT and still uses NXT 2.0 as the breeding ground for the new talent for the new roster. That's how Tony Khan intends on using ROH. He wants it to be the developmental territory for AEW. So the wrestlers, the independent wrestlers, I believe, are not directly going to be showing up on Dark or Elevation. Instead, they're going to be getting ROH contracts, and from there, they're going to go uphill and they're going to enter the world of Dynamite and Rampage. That's how it's probably going to happen. And it's just, the company is growing, it's getting bigger, and this is good. And also, this really begs the question of what happens with Rampage and what happens with, not Rampage, but what happens with Dynamite and what happens with Elevation. Because what these two shows were doing was they were acting as some sort of this was not a territory because they were not actually contracted talents that were wrestling on the shows, except for a few. But usually you'd see independent stars on here, right? And they were still independent stars. But now I guess what's going to be happening is that you're going to be seeing ROH stars instead of just random independent stars. Or maybe not. We'll have to see. But so far, AEW had been about giving the spotlight to the independent stars, right? Having any independent star out there, let it be from a territory, let them be from Louisiana, let them be from anywhere in the world, right? They would give the spotlight to the independent stars with their Dark and Elevation shows. But now that ROH is around the corner and they plan on using ROH as a developmental territory, are they going to stop giving the spotlight to the indie stars? Are they only going to make Rampage and Elevation exclusive to their ROH stars and AEW stars? If that is so, is that a slap on the face to all the independent stars who were hoping to make it to Dark or Elevation sometime this year and in the coming few years? Or is it a good thing? Let me know in the comments, because I am very intrigued. I mean, I had always gone out of my way to applaud AEW for putting the spotlight on the indie stars, but now with the you've got ROH in the picture. It's probably going to be only ROH stars on these shows, so we'll have to see how that goes. But let me know, what do you think? That's right, Impact is not. I think it's good. Different promotions are with different owners. Diversity is very important, and there should never be a monopoly. That's very, very important. That's right. With ROH going to AEW, there will be new stars coming in, and some may go. Absolutely. Very well said. And that's just how it goes, right? Clay Lewis says that today is my birthday. I had to get a good birthday today. I had a good birthday today. That's awesome. I had a Hershey's chocolate cake. Wow. Okay, that's fantastic. Happy birthday to you. I hope you had a good one. I hope that cake was good. It was delicious. Hershey's chocolate sounds right like the right cake, my friend. happy birthday to you again. Have a good night. And you know what? I hope that this year brings a lot of happiness, a lot of wrestling to you. And yeah, happy birthday. Jamie says, "Don't be fooled by the window. It's not the real. It's not real. Sorry, AJ. I had to no, Jamie. You know what? On this show, we keep kayfabe alive. There's everything that you see right now is real, very, very real. We keep kayfabe alive, especially right here at Wrestling News. And look at that, Steve Maclin with the punches to the ribs of Eddie Edwards, as both of them right on the top turnbuckle right now. Steve Maclin seems to be out of it. Eddie Edwards is climbing the turnbuckle. Oh! Okay, I don't think that was supposed to happen. Eddie Edwards' foot slipped, and now he's just hanging by the rope. Oh my gosh. While Eddie Edwards was suspended from the top rope, both his legs stuck in position, Steve Maclin takes advantage. He makes the best out of that little botch that they had, and he hits Eddie Edwards with a devastating spear while he was hanging upside down from that turnbuckle. I mean, Steve Maclin right now, and with a big drop kick elbow to Eddie Edwards as he's laying ringside. Eddie Edwards really seems to be out of it. Steve Maclin pushes him back into the ring. The referee, before he even would start counting. Okay, Eddie Edwards seems out of it. That was a horrible botch. Steve Maclin made the best out of it, but I don't care what Steve Maclin did. The truth is that was a horrible looking botch, and Eddie Edwards is hurt. Oh my gosh, look at that. Look at that. Eddie Edwards does the dirty work again. Hits Steve with the kendo stick. And with that being said, the match is off. It's not happening anymore. Another big shot of the kendo stick to the skull of Steve Maclin. Another one to the ribs of Steve Maclin. Steve Maclin now down. The match, if you guys were wondering, has been called off. It's a disqualification. Steve Maclin has won by DQ. And with that being said, Team Impact gets to the ring. And the traitor, the guy who was supposed to be on the team but turned the tables around and joined Honor No More, walks away with the kendo stick. He's happy. He's proud of his actions, which he should not be. Nobody should be proud of what Steve Maclin did. And he leaves. And his buddies, Team Honor No More, comes out, to really give him a pat on the back and get his back. And look at that. Maria with the mic in her hand. Look at that.
Running around here with your mean faces on. But I know why you're angry. You're angry because you actually believed in the constructs of professional wrestling. You believed in honor. And you believe that the only thing that matters is Impact Wrestling.
Okay.
But let me tell you something. You've been brainwashed. And now that Eddie Edwards has changed his mind and came back to reality, it makes you question everything.
So what she's saying is that Impact Wrestling is not the only promotion that matters. You've been brainwashed, and she says all of that while she's standing here at Impact Wrestling with an Impact Wrestling microphone in her hand. A little funny right there, isn't it? The referee's got a unique style, one sleeve up, one sleeve down. I noticed it too. Funny as hell. Probably sweating. That arm was sweating too much. He's like, nah, forget about it. Funny.
You're going to become the
Thank you for the love.
World Champion this Saturday, man. That's beyond delusional. That's pure insanity.
Of course, Heath Slater is the one who's going for the Impact World Championship this Saturday. Heath Slater was the guy who was treated as an utter joke in the WWE, and right here at Impact Wrestling, he's going for the World Championship. Who would have thought?
How about you bring your ass down here and I'll show you how insane I am.
Look at that. Heath Slater, this is not the same old Heath Slater we saw in the WWE. He's not backing down from a fight, and he issued a challenge to this guy right here, and he says that, you know what, I'm not just all talks, I'm the walk. I walk the walk, and the reason why I'm fighting Moose at Sacrifice is because I know I can win, and because I know I can win, I will show it to you right now as we get in the ring. Let's get in the ring, let's fight. So it seems like we're going to be getting a one-on-one match. And we're in for a one-on-one match right now. Let's see. Yeah, it's happening. It's a one-on-one match. and it's going to be Heath Slater's time to prove himself. I mean, he's going on against the big dog at Sacrifice this Saturday. And I spoke with Moose not too long ago, and I asked him, Moose, you know what? You've done a lot of things. You've really taken the smile out of a lot of people's faces. You made a lot of people upset. You know, you look at Josh Alexander, look at his family, look at Eddie Edwards, look at Matt Cardona. You've made a lot of people unhappy. How do you feel about it? Is there anything that you would have possibly changed about the whole thing, about the reign of yours? And he said the only one thing that I would have probably changed in his entire reign of mine is that I never got to put my hands on Eddie Edwards' family. And that's what he said. This is what Moose said himself. He says that he regrets not putting the pain to Eddie Edwards and his loved ones, because he's like, no, I'm not. That's not what I'm all about. I'm a bad guy and I do bad guy stuff, said Moose. And yeah, that's what he said. And this is it, guys. This is it. Moose unhinged. Moose is going to be fighting Heath Slater. He's a guy. He's an animal without any leash. He's an animal without any shackles. He can go crazy. And he said it to me himself. He said that there is no stopping me. I cannot be stopped. I cannot be threatened. I am Moose, and I will do whatever it takes to stay champion, which is what makes me the greatest wrestling champion in all of pro wrestling. It's amazing what Moose is. And you know what? He's a bad guy, but it's true. He can go to any extent to retain his championship, and that, I believe, is enough to make a champion the best champion ever. Bobby says, AJ Tyrus is defending the okay. Against Rodney Mack. That's cool. Looking forward to it as well. March 19th and March 20th. I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. It should be a good match. I've got my buddy JTG. I've got, Tyler Breeze is going to be there as well. Stuff is happening. I'm sorry, Breeze. Fandango is going to be there, not Tyler Breeze. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it, and I cannot wait for it to happen. AJ, can you interview PCO? I would love to interview him. He's such a different guy. He's such a different animal altogether. I mean, PCO, his mind is different, right? He's not a typical wrestler. He's been around for such a long time, such an experienced wrestler. And every time you get to interview or talk to a wrestler like that, it's that you get, their brain. I mean, you get to know about it, and the way you know about it, it just broadens your own horizon. You get to know more about the industry, and it's lovely. And speaking of that, the reason why I'm saying it is because I watched an incredible interview today, an interview that really, opened up my mind and really made me go like, whoa, you know what? This is the greatest interview ever, and the greatest interviewee ever. I mean, look at Vince McMahon. The interview he did with Pat McAfee, I mean, Vince went out there. He held nothing back. He was sitting there casually, no ego, nothing like that. He said it as it was. He went out there. He put everything on there. He said that this is perhaps the first interview, by the way, Pat McAfee said this was the first interview that Vince McMahon did in about 15 years. I believe the last time he had to do such a live shoot interview was when the whole Chris Benoit tragedy happened. So this time, 15 years later, it was, if at least the circumstances were different. We were celebrating WrestleMania, and it was better circumstances now. And Vince McMahon went out there. It was a very unscripted, a very shoot interview, and he talked about how his thoughts on AEW buying ROH. Vince McMahon said, you know what? I love confrontation, I love competition, and I'm all in for it. So that's what he said. And then you spoke about Saudi Arabia. Vince said that, you know what? Americans can't say that if a culture is not like the American culture, it's not a good culture. Every culture is a good culture. Saudi Arabian's culture is pretty rich itself, so you got to respect it. That's what he said. And then he touched on a lot of topics. Vince McMahon admitted, of course, the Undertaker thing. We cannot forget that. Vince said that he's inducting the Undertaker into the Hall of Fame, and he said that this is perhaps the hardest thing that he's ever done in his entire career, in his entire life. So that just goes on to show how much this means to Vince, and it's very, very interesting. But speaking of that, that's right, it was an amazing interview. Now that we're back on Impact Wrestling after the commercial break, let's take a look at this match. But we will get back to this topic of Vince McMahon and his interview during the next commercial break. But before that, Bobby says that Josh Woods wrestle at AEW Dark taping. So far, Josh Woods has 2 matches on AEW Dark. That's cool. Thanks, Bobby, for letting me know about this person. Gonna be looking into these matches. Taker's decision is the best. Absolutely, 100%. All right, let's tune into the match. Let's see what the buzz is all about. Heath Slater seems intimidating. He seems good. Should I say intimidating or not? But at least he seems big and he seems confident, right? This is not the same old Heath Slater we were used to seeing in the WWE. This is a different animal. Bulkier, bigger, more confident, and apparently world champion material. He's going to be fighting for the world championship at Sacrifice this Saturday, so definitely has something about himself. You wouldn't have seen this guy anywhere near the World Championship, hell, not even near the replica world titles in the WWE, but at Impact Wrestling, the land of opportunities and pro wrestling as I like to call it, he's going for the World Championship against Moose at Sacrifice. Really looking forward to this one. But so far, this is basically a trial and test match for Heath. If he's able to win this one, or heck, if he's able to dominate this one, he sends out a clear message to Moose that, hey, Moose, you know what? I'm ready. If I could beat this guy in no time, I'm going to beat you up in no time as well. That is the message that he sends out there. But here's another thing. Is it going to be enough? Because as I remember, W. Morrissey, he took on 9 people at once. I'm not joking. He took on 9 people at once, and he defeated 9 people at once in a 1-on-9 handicap match. And even after doing all of that, he ultimately went on to lose against Moose, at the pay-per-view. So Moose, there is no stopping Moose. There is no stopping Moose at all. And Heath Slater up on the second rope as his opponent has been shoved to the side. Look at that. Big punches to the head. Look at that. Look at that. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. Poor guy's skull just bounced off that turnbuckle and down he went, but Heath Slater is giving him no time to breathe. He's going all out. Now kicks to the abdomen. Heath Slater is definitely in control, as we heard from Mr. Matthew Raywald, aka Aiden English, my good friend on commentary. I interviewed him as well not too long ago. The interview is already up on the Wrassingh show and Wrestling News. Check it out. Pretty damn sweet. Jamie says, here's a bad joke that will actually make you laugh. Why was the painting okay, I see. Yeah, that's funny. Which match is the most awaited for in today's show? That's interesting. I just like I said, there are so many matches that are happening tonight. But this match right here that I'm watching right now, I did not know that this was actually in the cards. I don't know if it was announced, but we're getting it, and I'm probably pretty sure that this is one of the better matches of the show. One of the bigger names involved. Should be a good match overall, and should be a good show overall. And right now, this is interesting, yeah, because it's not very believable. I mean, if they're trying to sell Heath Slater as a solid challenger for Moose's World Championship, this is not working out because Moose is the same guy who defeated somebody who took on 9 people at once in a 9-on-1 handicap match, and it still did not work out. It did not work out. Even after all of that, Morrissey was not able to defeat Moose. And now we have Heath Slater here trying to get this guy down who's a lot smaller, a lot lighter, should be an easier opponent compared to Moose, but Heath Slater is really trying hard to be in control, and he's having a hard time doing so. So it's definitely not working out for Heath. A big kick to the back of the poor guy. I can hear the sounds. And look at that. That was a very weird kick out. Almost didn't even see that kick out. Wow, what a weird match this is. A bit Ooh, look who's here. Rummet is here. Good to see you, Rummet. Hope you're doing well, buddy. And much love back to you, brother. Very much love back to you. It's awesome. And D-Star says, I'm really trying my hardest to take Heath seriously, but I watched too much WWE for that. That's right. But D-Star, what really helps right now is the hair. Because in the WWE, he had hair like, Wendy's from, Wendy's or KFC, whatever you want to call it. But he has hair like Wendy's, right? And it just didn't work out for him. But I'm glad that he got a haircut and he just looks different. That makes a world of difference. The haircut and the sunglasses are gone, and I can take Heath more seriously than I could a few years ago. Also, he's bulkier. It's good. But again, just like I said, you're watching this show right now. You're watching this match right now. Heath Slater does not look like somebody who could be an actual threat to Moose's World Championship. No way. We already saw somebody who took on 9 people but was unable to defeat 9 people at once. I mean, bad, sad. Heath Slater stands no chance against Moose. This is, I don't know if they want to portray Heath Slater as the challenger, but if that's the intention, this match and this booking is not doing it. It's not doing it for anybody. In WWE, he had an entirely different look. That's right. He was a lot smaller. His hair was a lot longer. He had sunglasses. He acted walking around like Wendy's from Wendy's, fast food chain. And now he looks different. He looks better. He's not going around begging and asking for jobs because he's got a family. He's a serious guy, and I wish I could also take him more seriously, but just like D-Star said, WWE has ruined it for us, right? Yeah, that's true. But let's try to go with the flow, right? We are always trying to cheer to you. Oh my gosh, Rumit. Yeah, we're not talking about the negative stuff. We're not talking about dying or anything. We're here to spread the love. We're here to hug it out. Thank you so much for all the support, the cheers. I love you back, guys. You're awesome, Rumit. You're awesome. Everybody here in the chats, big up to you. You guys are what keep me going. Thank you. Chris says Brian Cage versus Buddy Matthews at Battleground Wrestling on March 26th. That sounds sick. That sounds awesome. AJ, you should interview Steve Macklin. You know what, Bobby, I'd like to. I've already interviewed Deonna. Would be nice to interview her fiance, Steve. Hey, might be even better if I could get both of them in the same interview at the same damn time. Probably gonna try it, Bobby. That's a good idea. Agree with, there you go. Yeah, Bobby always had some good suggestions. Roman says Tony Khan purchased ROH. It's surprising news. And what could be even more surprising is that what I've heard is that ROH, actually, the offer went both to AEW as well as a WWE. The offer went to both the sides. But AEW and Tony Khan obviously expressed more interest, and by more interest, I mean that they offered more money, and that's why ROH went to the highest bidder, and that turned out to be Tony Khan. And what's even more interesting, it goes on to show that Tony Khan cannot keep secrets, is that a day after the deal was done, or the day after the deal was confirmed, he started dropping hints, and he started dropping hints here and there about something big happening. You know, he couldn't just hold it in his stomach for too long, and that's why about 2 weeks later, he makes the announcement that ROH is actually home, and ROH is now a part of Tony Khan's empire of pro wrestling. Awesome stuff. T-Stown says yes. Yes, we did cover the news story today. That's right. Can he do a watch along for Battleground, says Chris, March 26th. Let's see. What day does it turn out to be? Just 1 second, Chris. I'm going to look it up right now. It turns out to be a Saturday. I mean, we're doing one this Saturday. We're probably doing one next Saturday. So we're going to get one Saturday in between, I believe. So March 26th, Battleground, just 2 weeks away from WrestleMania, or even less than 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. I don't think that there should be any reason in this world to not do Battleground. I think we should do it, we should cover it, and we should cover it live through our watch along. Chris, we're doing it, but it's your responsibility to remind me a few days before Battleground, so I know we're doing it. I'm bad with bad memory, so I need for you to remind me a few days before the show, but we're definitely doing it, Chris. You have my word, buddy. Rumit says, do you stream AEW Revolution? Yes, Rumit. I'm going to be here for Impact Wrestling Sacrifice on Saturday and AEW Revolution on Sunday. There is no break this weekend. I'm here every single day. That's how we go. Bobby says, LaFeast, okay. There we go. March 26th, Battleground, just like Chris says, seems like, oh, wait. This turns out to 2 different shows, it seems. Oh, we got a problem here. Which one's a better show now? But, I think we should go with Battleground because we've got Brian Cage, Buddy Matthews, but we'll see. I'd like to cover all the wrestling out there. There's so much wrestling. I like to cover everything, but we've got to do one at a time, right? So, except for Friday, though, we're doing 4 shows on Friday. It starts with, your favorite. It starts with SmackDown, then we go to Level Up, then we go to Rampage, and all that craziness. So we're doing all the shows on Friday, that's for sure. AJ need to interview Tony Khan also for his future plans. That's right. I'd love to interview Tony Khan one day, for sure. Adam Cole, baby, let's hope to see an AEW Revolution. Oh yeah, Adam Cole could be the new world champion at Revolution. I think that it's not about could, it's will be. He will be the new world champion at Revolution. He's got all the momentum in the world. And if you just put the two atoms together, the Eve, which is the AEW World Championship, Eve is got to go to the Atom with the Cole. I think Adam Cole is going to be winning his Eve. He's going to be winning his AEW World Championship this Sunday at AEW Revolution. Thank you for the claps. You guys are awesome. Pink hair, Liv Morgan is always great. I don't mind her at all, man. Pink, red, black, blonde, green. Liv Morgan is living, and she's letting the wrestling fans live in a world of happiness and sunshine. Liv Morgan is great. And speaking of Liv Morgan, who's a great in-ring talent, let's focus back on the ring, because we just saw Heath Slater deliver a beautifully executed suplex onto poor guy, and right now both of them are down. Heath Slater trying to get back in control, and I know that Heath Slater, even though he's dominating this match, it just seems off because, again, this is the guy that you expect to be wrestling Moose this upcoming Saturday. And just 2 days before Saturday, you're making him look pretty weak. I mean, this match should have been a squash, right? That's what you'd expect for the challenger to do, unless you want him to portray an underdog story and head into the match as an underdog who has no expectations of winning. But if an underdog doesn't win, there are no surprises, right? But if he's gonna be in it to win it, then there are surprises. Then I'm gonna pop. Let's see. Bobby says Capital Championship Wrestling is an all-women's show. It is tied to Untitled Match Network. That's pretty cool, Bobby. Now you got to be confused, all confused. Have to pick one or maybe do both. We'll see. We'll make a decision. And with that being said, Heath Slater was about to get pinned, but now 1, 2, and a kick out. Heath Slater kicked out right in time. And yeah, this guy is the same old guy from the WWE, the guy we all have trouble taking seriously at times because of his past. But there is no denying that Heath Slater is a better competitor. He's a more serious competitor. He's a competitor who knows no quit. And he's here every single week, proving it that this is not the same old Heath Slater. This is Heath Slater Cyborg. He can do anything. He can go out there and he can wrestle the very best. That is why this Saturday he wrestles Moose for the Impact World Championship. It's got to be a big match. Let's see if he's actually able to do the unthinkable and win it. And with that being said, Heath Slater, who should have won this match, has finally ended up winning this match. It was much needed heading into the match against Moose. If he lost this one, there would have been no hope, right? So he won this match. I would give this match a very sloppy rating of a 2 out of 5 because it was sloppy. Even the finish, it didn't feel like that big finish. It didn't feel like that movement, right? It was just weird. I did not enjoy this match. I think it could have been better. The first match was beautiful. It was amazing. It was incredible. This match, not so much. Sloppy, slow, tiresome. And with that being said, the world champion Moose is here. Oh, and he accidentally hits one of the main members of Honor No More. And what does that signal? Look at that. Moose accidentally takes out an Honor No More member. Heath Slater taking advantage of that, beats Moose, and going for the pinfall here. Of course, Moose, this was not a championship. So Moose does not lose the championship even after getting pinned, even after being down for the 3 count. But again, guys, if Heath Slater was able to put him down with the distraction and he was able to hit him with the big finisher and put him down to the 3 count, could this happen this Saturday too? I don't see it happening. But now that Moose has actually beat up the Honor No More member, could Honor No More be getting back at Moose this Saturday? That could happen, and that could lead to Heath Slater, actually winning it. Here's an interesting part. Heath Slater was a part of the Nexus, right? And now we could actually be seeing, Honor No More being the new Nexus, getting after the champion that is Moose, and letting Heath Slater win the championship. That would be huge. That'd be big. And I'm going to be all in for it. I'm going to be looking forward to it. I think that's exciting. And what the hell? We're going to flash back. We're going back 12 years ago to Sacrifice 2010. We were seeing Devon Dudley redeeming the Dudley brothers right now. I think, is that Robert Roode? Yes, that's Robert Roode there. Just such a different personality, such a different beast Robert Roode looks like. He looks like Triple H, more or less. I mean, I feel bad for how WWE destroyed Roode. I mean, even 10 years ago, 12 years ago, he looked amazing. He looked so good. And now also he looks pretty good, but WWE just destroyed this poor guy. I don't understand why are we going to the flashback 12 years back. I mean, Impact Wrestling should have enough stuff to show us, since this is the go home show for their Sacrifice pay-per-view. There should be more wrestling in 2022 than us watching wrestling from back in the day as 2010. It makes no sense. Impact Wrestling, cut this WWE crap off and give us more live wrestling. Thank you for so much. And with that being said, I think this is time for the match that I was looking forward to the most. Is that right? Yes, this is one of the matches this is one of the stars that I always look forward to the most whenever I tune into Impact Wrestling, and that is Masha Slamovich, who's making her way to the ring. Look at her; it looks like a complete badass, And of course, Masha is from Russia, so we know in real life what's going on in Russia right now is not good. It's pretty bad. The Russian invasion is really bad, and the world uh, Russia basically has heat from everybody in the world. And in this day and age, for Masha Slamovich to come out here representing Russia is brave. And kudos to her. And I've said this countless times when I was doing the news report earlier. I said this. I said, I'm going to do this news report, but even before I start talking about this news story, I just want to tell everybody that do not direct your hate towards the Russian citizens. Do not direct your hate to people who belong to Russia or who are Russians by nationality or the family backgrounds. Don't direct your hate to them, because most of the people who are in Russia do not want this war. They are not with this war. They're against it. This is not a war between people. This is a war between governments. So do not subject anybody to hate. Spread the love, share the love. And Masha Slamovich right now, ultimate heel. And yeah, give her some love, because she is here, and this is going to be a squash match. She's going to destroy her opponent. That is for sure. We love to see her on AEW with Buddy, Ruby, Soho. Would be nice, right? And yeah, Liv Morgan, I thought earlier, I remember, Roman, when we were speaking about Liv Morgan earlier, a few months ago, and you said you'd like to see her in AEW. I said, you know what, wait a second, because right now WWE is giving her some championship opportunities, some shots, so maybe they'll do something with Liv Morgan. But they did nothing. They dropped the ball once again, as they always do, and Liv Morgan right now is left without a vision, without a plan. They have nothing to do with her. So hell, release her, let her go to AEW, let her reunite with their people. I think AEW can do wonders with a better and stronger women's roster. So Liv Morgan in AEW would be great for both the sides. So I'm all in for it. Definitely all in for it. Chris says Nick Gage just signed a big contract with GCW. Yes, he did. And Nick Gage, isn't he like the only person, the first and the last ever person, I believe, who has ever been offered a GCW contract? Nobody else has been offered a GCW contract ever. It's only been free agents coming here and there. Nick Gage is the only one who has been offered a GCW contract. Big up to him. It's awesome. It's great. Jamie says, who's your favorite comedy character? Jamie, lots of them, but you crack me up sometimes with your jokes, so I'm going to go with Jamie Todd right now. Roman says, we pro wrestling fans expecting Liv Morgan. There you go. Drummond just rallying behind this idea. Yeah, we're expecting for Liv Morgan to show up on AEW. We're all in for it. We're ready for it. Let's do it. Let's have her be an AEW. Why not? Why not? And you know what, guys? I'm loving the show of Impact tonight. It's good. It's energetic. I think the flow is there. It's smooth. The transitions are nice and sweet. I'm all in for this show of Impact Wrestling. I'm enjoying it a lot. Bobby says, Moose got interviewed today. He said that he would like to defend this title at GCW, and he said that he would like to wrestle against Jay White or someone from Honor No More. That is sweet. That's nice. You know what? If he gets to do that, more power to him. But with Impact Wrestling, I don't know if they're going to be allowing him to go to GCW, especially considering how GCW can be a bit, it can be risky, right? It can't not be always very safe. We saw what happened not too long ago. Poor guy got some glass in his eye. Alex Zane, he got a ruptured eye, basically. I mean, he ruptured his parts of his eyes, and it was not good. It was not good. His cornea got ruptured, and he had to go under the surgery, go under the knife, get the glass removed from his eye, and he's now out for an unknown period of time, for an extended period of time. So GCW is risky. I don't know if a mainstream show like Impact Wrestling would allow their stars to go over to GCW, and not just stars, the main event stars, the champions. That's the big thing. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, whatever is happening over there. Our thoughts and our prayers are with everybody Over 1 million people have left the country in the middle of all of this. It's craziness, and our thoughts and our prayers are with everybody. Uh, yeah, but that's all I can say. We are all very fortunate to be living in the comforts of our home in our own countries, and we're safe. But there are people out there who don't even have a place to call home anymore. So tonight and every single day, let's be grateful for what we have, and let's send our thoughts and our prayers to all those people out there. Yes, absolutely. If Heath wins on Saturday, can you interview him? For sure, Chris. And you know that whenever there's a champion in Impact Wrestling, I get to interview them. I don't think in recent history there has been a champion that I haven't had the pleasure to interview, except for Mickey James, which I have to reach out and get that interview done too. But I would love to do interview Heath Slater. I doubt it though. I doubt if he's going to be champion. But let's see. Do you see Heath Slater winning this Saturday? It's going to be interesting. I mean, I don't know, but I find it very highly doubtful, honestly. And Bobby says, I would like to see Sarah Logan accept Deonna Purrazzo's open challenge. I would like to see Sarah. You know what, Bobby? That is crazy. That is crazy that you mentioned that, because in the back of my mind, I was thinking about Sarah Logan not too long ago, just a few minutes ago. I don't know, out of the blue, her image just popped up in my head. I'm like, Sarah Logan. And you just, I don't know if you're reading my mind, but Sarah Logan was in my mind. I was thinking about her. And Sarah Logan versus Deonna Purrazzo, an open challenge would be beautiful. It would get a big pop. The industry will be talking about it. The fans are going to be talking about it. It's going to bring a lot of eyes to the product. Sarah Logan definitely has a good fan base, and she will bring it over to Impact Wrestling. If she makes her debut, it's going to be good for everybody. It's going to be good for Impact. It's going to be good for ROH. It's going to be good for AEW. It's going to be good for everybody. So let's make it happen. Sarah Logan and Impact, anybody watching this right now, let's make it happen sooner than later. I'd be all in for it. And Bobby, I know, would be all in for it. And speaking of that, we're on commercials right now, which makes me go back to the whole Vince McMahon segment that we saw not too long ago. But before we talk about that, I want to take another comment from Chris, who says, I don't see Heath Slater winning, but I want that interview with... Look at that, Chris, my buddy. I would give you a hug right now. Yeah, you get what you want. If you want an interview with Heath, brother, we're going to make it happen, championship or not. We're going to make it happen. That's Wrassing's word to you. I make you a promise. I'm going to make that interview with Heath Slater happen, brother. D-Star says, is Sarah Logan the one who was with Morgan? That's right. That's right. Yep, absolutely. 100%. That is Sarah Logan. Would you like to see it happening, D-Star? Let me know. But yeah, once again, Chris, it's all the 5+ years of hard work that's got me to this point where I can try and approach people and expect an interview. It's not something that happened in a few months. It's not something happened in like 4 months. No, it's all the hard work that I've put into the brand over 5+ years that has led me to this place, and has given me the repetition to try and approach people for interviews and make them happen. So very grateful for the opportunities, and I'm pretty sure they're going to keep coming as long as I keep working hard, and I'm not stopping. Bobby says, I could see Sarah Logan maybe pick ROH Women's Championship or AAA Reina de Reinas Championship. I know, and by the way, can I just say, AAA Reina de Reinas Championship just sounds so great. It sounds like a tongue twister almost, but not maybe. It's just very satisfying to say it. AAA Reina de Reinas Champion. AAA Reina de Reinas Champion. Try saying it yourself, guys, a few times. It just sounds really good and pleasing to listen to and to say it. AAA Reina de Reinas. I love saying it. I can say it over and over again. Okay, before I go crazy, I must say, yes, I think Sarah Logan as the ROH champion would be great, because once ROH is back in business and they're running their full-on shows, they would have to go to their own show and own network, and they would have to take that ROH championship from Impact and bring them over to their own home, which in that case Deonna Purrazzo wouldn't be able to do it, I'm pretty sure, but it would be Sarah Logan who would make a great fit. So I'm all in for it. 100% all in for it. And speaking of being all in, this guy right here, Mike Bailey, I mean, everywhere I look left, I look right, I look at GCW, I look at Impact Wrestling, I look at AEW, I look anywhere. All I see is Mike Bailey. Mike Bailey's everywhere. He's the new Karate Kid of professional wrestling. He has this beautiful smile on his face all the time we see him. His looks, his personality, it oozes positivity, it oozes talent. Mike Bailey is the next big thing, if he already isn't the big thing in the game, in the industry right now. Mike Bailey is awesomeness. Can't wait to see more of him. But if you haven't paid attention to Mike Bailey yet, you better start now, because he is the next golden guy, golden boy of professional wrestling. He's awesome. He's awesome indeed. And Chris says, I just saw a NJPW advertisement earlier. Do you see Tanahashi or Okada being in AEW? Why not? Why not is what I say. Probably gotta go with Okada. I think Okada could happen. You never know. WWE are getting more diverse. In a few years, you could be on the pre-show panel for the WWE Premium Live events. You know what, D-Star? I will love that, absolutely. And why not? You know, WWE actually reached out to me out of the blue in 2019 and flew me down to America. And they flew me down to America. They paid for all of my hotel. They paid for my ringside seats for WrestleMania, for NXT, for all these shows. I was there. I was a guest and a member of I did a lot of news coverage there. It was great. It was a good experience. WWE acknowledges Wrestling News. They acknowledge me and my work that I've put in all these years. So hopefully it happens. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to be all ready for it. You know, I'm a big WWE fan, so it'll be an honor to do anything with them. It would be great. But thank you so much, D-Star. You're awesome. And I'll tell you what, doing a WWE show or doing this show right here, I'm going to bring in the best energy possible for every single show, and especially for guys like you, D, who have been around since the very beginning and who are around every single day, cheering me on, rooting for me, and really keeping me going. Much love to you, D-Star, to Chris, to Bobby, to everybody watching this right now. Romit, my brother, you guys are awesome. Thank you. And Teaston, I'm probably missing a few names, but everybody here, you guys are awesome. AJ, I can't believe people would... That's... Thank you so much, Chris. You know what? It's okay. I'm trying to get past it, and it happens, right? I mean, the world, it cannot always be full of flowers. Sometimes you get some spikes. I mean, even if you take a rose, right? If you take a rose, you see the spikes and its stems, and that's what happens. Even a beautiful rose like that can have some spikes. So it's okay. That's just how the world is, and you just got to be stronger, right? And it's okay. It's all right. I have you guys, and that's what matters. Thank you so much. AJ, you should check on... Okay. Okay, I'm gonna check it out, Bobby. You know what? Right after the show is over, I'm gonna tune in, gonna check it out. By the way, do you check out the inspiration right now? Do you check them out? They look red, and they're dressed in red, by the way. They're dressed in red. They're rocking the Wrassing colors, or maybe I should say Impact Wrestling colors. All red, everything are inspiration tonight. And are they gonna be able to inspire us and motivate us to tune into this Saturday? Is this match going to be a good one? I think so, and I'm ready for it. And I can't wait to see the magic that they actually put on tonight. It's going to be a one-on-one match, and I'm all in for it. Again, the Inspiration is the first ever women's tag team that has stepped foot at Impact Wrestling, that's actually entered the Impact Wrestling ring on day one, and they've actually left on day one with the Impact Wrestling tag team championship. The Knockout Women's Tag Team Championship is the first time that's ever happened. And of course, the referee that you see right now, Mr. Brandon Toll, was the first ever guest on the Wrassing show. So big up to Mr. Brandon Toll. You are awesome. And the match is underway. Look at that. Madison Rayne, Peyton Royce right now going crazy in the ring. Madison Rayne right off the bat is dominating. And you knew that Madison Rayne would be bringing her A game. She would be bringing her very best to the ring tonight. And that's what it seems like she is bringing. Of course, Peyton Royce has got Billie Kay by her side, who's standing ringside, who's cheering on her friend, her tag team partner. But Madison Rayne, don't think that she's alone either. She's got Tenille Dashwood, who Chris broke this news earlier that she's the number one contender. And Tenille Dashwood is standing ringside cheering on Madison Rayne, while Peyton Royce tries to get in control. And look at that. Tenille Dashwood is not only cheering on Madison, but she actually pulls Madison out of the ring, saving her for the submission hold that Peyton was actually about to lock her into. So right in time, she saved her. Mr. Brandon told the referee not doing much right now. He should probably be ejecting Tenille Dashwood from ringside, but he's not doing that, giving her a chance. And Peyton Royce actually gets Madison Rayne back into the ring. Now, oh my gosh. Okay, with a little bit of that breaker right there from Madison Rayne to Peyton. Peyton's days, Peyton's out of it. She's fallen down to her knees. Madison Rayne now in control, fully in control, may I say. Good stuff, good stuff. And Sarah Logan will be a great addition. That's it. Talk about Impact Wrestling's knockout division. You talk about AEW's women's division, or you talk about ROH. I mean, when ROH is around and they finally start running their own shows and they will need their own title, Sarah Logan as the ROH championship would be amazing. I'm going to be all in for it. Your stream is looking like Eva Marie. That's right. Yeah, I mean, Eva Marie is awesome. Talk about her. And that's what it is all about. The stream, if anything, if you call it looking like Eva Marie, it means that it looks very attractive. That's a good thing. Thank you, Jamie. First time I've seen an inspiration entrance. That's right, D-Star, you're missing out, buddy. Go back to Bound for Glory. Go back to Impact Wrestling's Bound for Glory 2021, where Inspiration made their debut. Check that entrance out. Check out that entrance. It was sick. Impact Wrestling actually did something they don't do for a lot of people. They had a live music and performance for Inspiration, which was pretty damn cool. So go back to Bound for Glory 2021 and watch the debut, the first ever entrance of Inspiration at Impact Wrestling. It's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet, man. I loved it. I'm pretty sure you will love it too. Chris says, the Inspiration would be a great interview as well. I know I give you lots of suggestions. No, don't be sorry, Chris. All I should be saying to you is thank you for the suggestions. These are great suggestions. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to be trying my best to get to this. But, with Impact, you can only request one at a time. So I'm going to be requesting one. And let's see if we can get... It's up to them. Whichever interview they would want to give to me, I'll take it. But let's see. Bobby says, I like Impact Wrestling because showcases indie wrestlers, giving an opportunity. Exactly, right? That's what I love it as well. And now, especially when you've got Deonna Purrazzo and the work that she's doing as the champ with her champ open challenges, it's beautiful. She's really opening the doors, the horizons for everybody out there. If you're a wrestler, if you want a shot at the title, if you want a shot at the main event at Impact Wrestling, be on TV, get on there, take on Deonna Purrazzo and take away her title. Simple as that. Not too complicated, very simple. And ringside, lots of dirty work going on. Billy Kay is in some sort of trouble. What's going on here? Madison Ray can't believe it. This is weird. Madison Rain actually with the distraction. And she asks him to drop her to the ground. And he very carefully places her on the ground, on the mat. And Billy Kay is just moved. She does not understand what's going on here. Very confused. So is Madison Rain. Peyton Royce taking advantage, going for the cover. 1, 2, and 3. And just like that, the match is over. Peyton Royce with the victory. The Inspiration continue to inspire us. And this is the reason we're going to be tuning in this Saturday for Sacrifice. Wow, look at that. As Inspiration still the Impact Knockouts or the Impact Women's Tag Team Champions. Beautiful stuff. Really enjoying it. And do you believe it, guys? It's been an hour since we've been watching Impact. It doesn't even feel like an hour. It feels like a few minutes now. It's been a great show, a tremendous show, and really thoroughly enjoying it. I hope you are as well, as this has indeed been an amazing show. Okay, we're just about 7 minutes away from it being an hour, but it just feels like it's been about 10, 20, or maybe 30 minutes to the max. It's been a great show. And yes, my throat is feeling it right now, but you know what? When the show is good, nobody can stop me from talking. I can be the Michael Cole, or even better than Michael Cole, or better than Jerry. I don't know if I should compare myself to the all-time greats, but maybe I can go on non-stop like Pat McAfee and, talk all over, because that's what Impact Wrestling is doing tonight. And you know what? When you have a show like show host like Wrassingh who can talk all this time and really keep up with all the wrestling, you don't need any more hosts, do you? That's right, D-Star. This Saturday, this weekend is going to be a busy one, because Saturday, it's going to be Impact Wrestling Sacrifice pay-per-view, and Sunday, we're, of course, going to be getting the AEW Revolution pay-per-view. A few people here and there are saying that at Revolution, Tony Khan's apparently again making an announcement. I don't know. He better not. So many announcements already. But Revolution is going to be a big pay-per-view, and Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. I think this is not going to be the biggest Impact Wrestling pay-per-view ever, but what's going to be happening this Saturday is we're going to be in for a decent pay-per-view. It's going to be one of those, roadblocks to WrestleMania or stuff. I know WrestleMania is a WWE show, but again, all the companies like to put their pay-per-views out there in the month of March. We recently saw No Surrender. So this pay-per-view is happening in less than 2 weeks now. It is not the biggest Impact Wrestling pay-per-view ever. It's just one of the sweet ones out there, one of the specials that they throw at us here and there. That's about it. But tune in this Saturday, Impact Wrestling Sacrifice. Bobby says Session Martina is wrestling again at AEW Dark Tapings. Maybe AEW was impressed by her work against Ruby Soho yesterday. Yeah, Session Mott is awesome. She's good. And I've had chats with her here and there. She's a very nice human being. Really nice lady. Lovely. I got a lot of respect for her. So I can't wait for her to succeed in the business, to make it big in the industry. Big up, Session Mod Martina. You're awesome. D-Star says, Tony Khan makes announcements every day these days, and that's where it gets boring, right? Okay, Tony, what do you have to say? Why don't you just tweet it out there? Just tweet it out. It's okay. But the one thing I really appreciated last night when Tony Khan's announcement was that he got on there, he didn't waste much time, no entrance music, none of that crap. He stayed true to his words. When he started off the promotion, he said, I'm not going to be an on-screen character. I am going to be the real CEO, and that's about it. Nothing on screen, nothing of that sort. And he stays true to his words. This was only the second time that we saw Tony Khan in the middle of the ring, the first time being for the unfortunate, passing, after the unfortunate passing and the tribute show that they put on for John Huber, Mr. Brody Lee, R.I.P. That was the first time we saw Tony Khan in the middle of the ring, and this was the second time that we saw him out there. And Tony Khan stayed true to his words. No flashy entrance, none of that. No promo cutting. When he got to the mic, he said, you know what, I'm not going to take a lot of your time. And that just shows that, he's a genuine guy who doesn't want to deprive the wrestling fans of the wrestling. He says, I'm not going to take much time, but this is the announcement. Now guys can go ahead and enjoy some wrestling. And he gave us a great wrestling matches last night. So big up to Tony Khan. He does a good job. The announcements maybe can be a little less frequent, but it's up to him. It's up to him. Do you notice Tommy Dreamer's children are actress? They were both on the show. Wow, I had no idea Tommy Dreamer's kids are actresses. That is awesome. Guys, look it up. You know what? This sounds like a good show. Why wouldn't it be? Is it a hardcore show? Are they following into Tommy Dreamer's footsteps? Is it an extreme show, Chris? That sounds awesome. And Jacob is here. Jacob, good to see you. Acknowledge Jacob. Acknowledge the tribal chief. Good to see you, Jacob. Hope you're doing well. Chris says, Tommy Dreamer recently returned backstage to Impact Wrestling. Again, Tommy Dreamer, an all-time greats. He spent some time with Impact. And, back in the day, Impact had everybody. They had Hulk Hogan. They had, everybody. Eric Bischoff. They had Ric Flair. They had everybody. Impact Wrestling that time was great. And speaking of Hulk Hogan, actually, Vince McMahon was asked about, stuff that he does on screen and the programming and whatnot. He said that, has there ever been something that you have not wanted to do, but you had to do it? And he said that, you know what, as Vince McMahon, I do what's best for business, and I do what the fans want the most. Sometimes I don't like the direction of it, or I don't want for it to happen, but the fans want it to happen. That's why I give it to them. He said, for example, Hulk Hogan came back. Vince McMahon says, I never wanted Hulk Hogan to come back. But he came back because the fans wanted him to come back. So, that's just another thing that I wanted to put out there since we're talking about Hulk Hogan. Vince McMahon says he did not want Hulk Hogan back, but the fans did, and that's why he brought him back. So, when Vince McMahon says that he does what the fans want and he gives the fans what they want, do you guys agree? Do you think that's true? Or he's just making it up right now? Let me know what you think. Kelsey, Heather, and Viva Vaughn, both of them are talented wrestlers, can have great match against Deonna Purrazzo. And of course, all three people that you mentioned, Kelsey, Viva, and Deonna, have been on the Wrassing show. All three of them, great people, loving people, awesome people. D-Star says, and very talented. Has anyone seen the old classic film, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? Yes, of course. Yeah, oh my gosh, wait. I now realize it. You know what? D-Star, you're a genius. How did you get this thought out of nowhere? But you know what? I actually understand what you're saying here. It makes a lot of sense, D-Star. Cool. Impact versus WWE, who do you think will get the full... Oh my gosh, this is a hard question, man. Impact Wrestling's got Moose. But you know what? I have to go with WWE. They've got the Tribal Chief, so we got to go with the WWE. Is that right, Jacob? Watch WWE 2K22 are you going to get? That's going to be a surprise. You'll see. You got to see. I changed my picture to Roman. That's right. I acknowledge him too. And speaking of acknowledgement, do you guys acknowledge the hardcore country? Because the hardcore country, Mickey James is right here. She's here making her entrance. And True is here. True, my friend, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday. Happy Impact Wrestling night. And with that being said, Mickey James with the cowboy hat, with the country girl hat, making her way to the ring, flaunting her Impact World Championship. Pretty damn cool, isn't it? Which first match, AJ? Because I don't like Impact. Yeah, the first match was actually pretty good, man. I'm not gonna give you any spoilers because this show has actually been very, very fine. It's been very, very good. The first match was actually between Steve Macklin and was between Eddie. So you guys should actually tune in. Eddie Kingston did a good job with this match. It was pretty sweet. I know that you guys are going to be entertained. Check it out. This show of Impact Wrestling, this episode, has been very good. Do you think Punk will go to Impact? You know what? Appearances can happen here and there, but if there's a promotion that I'd fully expect for Punk to show up in, it has to be ROH Wrestling. Ring of Honor, Punk will go there. Punk will wrestle there 110%. Write it down. I'm telling you right now, Punk will go to ROH Wrestling. I'm telling you right now, it will happen. He will wrestle there a few matches for sure. I started to watch Impact Wrestling around September 7th, 2017. Wow, you remember the date when Taya Valkyrie made her debut. That's beautiful, Bobby. That's awesome. You remember the date? That just goes on to show that you fell in love with Impact Wrestling that time and you haven't been able to stop watching it. That's amazing. That's great. Vince's lines is true. Yeah, he says that he's all about the fans. He does what the fans want. He didn't want Hulk Hogan to come back. Yeah, you know what? Too much to digest, right? I understand totally. Good evening. There you go. True, getting some love from D-Star, from everybody. Everybody is welcome here. Good to see everybody. Jacob says, Thomas SmackDown. When we have AEW versus ROH, I watched WWE in 2018 and AEW in 2020. That's cool, man. That's awesome. So you're a newer WWE fan, it seems. 2018, huh? That explains. All right, that's cool. Do you like Booker T or Tommy Dreamer's promotions? I think I like Booker T. I think Booker T is doing a very fine job with his promotion, The Reality of Wrestling, if I'm not wrong with the name. He's doing a very good job, and I've got some friends who actually work there at the promotion, so they do a good job. I've got a lot of respect for them and what they've done with the promotion so far. They've done a beautiful job with it, so definitely have to go with Booker T. He has done an amazing job. And speaking of amazing, look at Chelsea Green right now, entering the ring. Whatever she's wearing, that's a very nice-looking outfit. I don't know what that is. Okay, that's, I don't know if that's a wedding gown or part of the wedding gown, but whatever that was, pretty damn cool. Okay, and Chelsea Green is here. She's ready to go. She's ready to roll. She's ready for this match. And, yeah, it should be a good one. Should be good. Let's see how it goes down. And again,
Every single time with Tasha.
Tasha Steelz versus Chelsea Green. It's a one-on-one match. The referee, we're just waiting on you to ring the bell and have you, or he is. Okay, there we go. And Tasha Steelz with the first hit. Chelsea Green actually out right now. She's down. She's dazed from the very beginning, which is weird. Okay. Sarah Logan should accept Deonna Purrazzo Impact Wrestling Sacrifice or week after Sacrifice. I do agree. If it's Sacrifice, then it would be beautiful. It would be the perfect time, pay-per-view and all whatnot. A lot of fans will be watching, so why not Sacrifice, right? I'd like for it to happen, but even a week after Sacrifice, I would not mind it. I would love it. What do you think? Who do you think will return to ROH? I said it, man. I said CM Punk will return there for sure. I'm pretty sure we're going to see Bryan Danielson being there as well, here and there, a few matches. He's going to be there for a few matches at least. And, I don't know. Team Honor no more. Are they going to go back to ROH? I don't know, but I think it could happen too. But I doubt it, kind of doubt it. But let's see what happens. Yeah, absolutely. Impact, there you go. Peace, D-Star. Impact and WWE versus AEW and GCW. Wow, that's a big one. But still, I'm going to put my money on WWE and Impact Wrestling because they've got just world-class athletes. Yes, GCW and AEW are no less. They've got some very good talent wrestling for their companies, but WWE is just miles apart. And with Impact Wrestling being there and Moose being there with the WWE roster and Impact Wrestling roster, yeah, it's going to be unstoppable. Moose can do anything and everything to win. And that's what makes him the greatest champion in all of professional wrestling. And that's not just a statement. That's not just kayfabe. That's real life. That's Moose for you. Okay. And Tasha Steelz with some kicks. to the look at that, and now shoving her to the side. Tasha Steelz going for it, but Chelsea Green dodges it with a kick to the face of Tasha Steelz. Chelsea Green going for that roll-up pinfall. Tasha Steelz kicks out in no time with an elbow to the chest of Chelsea. Chelsea now down. And by the way, you guys looking at what Tasha Steelz wearing right now? She's actually wearing a Wonder Woman outfit. Pretty damn nice, pretty damn cool. Like her outfit. Tasha Steelz really bringing her Wonder Woman kind of energy, her Wonder Woman strength tonight to the ring as she lays the beating on Chelsea Green and shows her who the dominant woman is. Awesome stuff. Do you think Weevil AEW returns in 2024 if show watch AEW? Okay. Oh, okay. You know what? A lot of returns could be happening. I think a lot of people from the CYN Control Your Narrative would be going to AEW or WWE in the near future. I don't know. It depends on how good or bad their promotion runs. I'm not sure how good it's going to run, honestly, because of all the wrestling that already is in place. It already happens all week long, so I don't know if there's place for another promotion. And also, we don't know kind of what kind of budget or financing they've got, right? So it's tricky. We'll see how that promotion goes, and based on it, we'll be able to maybe guess who's going to be going back to WWE or AEW in 2024. Bit of a long shot here because we're still in the beginning of 2022, right? I get the feeling that Chelsea Green is going to do what Mickey did to True. Oh, okay. You know what, True? Actually, why not? I think Chelsea Green is capable of doing that, and she could do it even better than what Mickey did to Trish. For sure, it could happen. Let's see. Let's see if it happens, though. AJ, will we ever see Booker T students against Deonna Purrazzo during her? Why not, Bobby? For sure, it could happen. But from what I understand, is what they're looking for right now is for the more popular faces against Deonna to get the pop, to get the eyes, to get the attention. So maybe the students will have to work harder to get up to Impact, to get up to face Deonna. But it will happen for sure. At least a few students will be wrestling Deonna in the open challenges, the champ challenges, as Deonna likes to call them. Can we play 2K22 next Friday, please, AJ? Jacob, you know what? I'm going to keep it a surprise. We'll see. We'll see. But I'm going to tell you something. You're not going to be disappointed. You're going to love anything and everything that I have in store for you guys because I have a lot in store for you guys. For sure. Who do you see losing the title first, Roman or Moose? No, that's a very hard question. You shouldn't be doing this to me, Chris. No, not at all. That's a very hard question. Moose is going to be champion forever because he says that he's going to go to any extent, go to any limits. He knows no limits. He says he will do anything and everything possible to retain his championship every time he's defending it. He says that he is the greatest champion in all of pro wrestling for a reason, and that reason being is that he knows no limits when it comes to keeping that championship, which makes him the greatest of all time in all of pro wrestling. So who is it gonna be who'll drop the title first, Roman or Moose? Everybody watching this right now, help me out with this question. It's a bit of a tricky question. I don't know how to answer it. I expect Roman Reigns to carry the championship all the way until next year to WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood, where I expect for him to face The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, in a one-on-one match for the championship. But again, anything can happen. Let's see what happens. If I had to pick between these two, I would probably say that I want Roman Reigns to stay champion for a longer period of time than Moose. That's just what I want. Wow, doing this color commentary and whatnot feels good. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be having a lot of fun. Friday, 2K22 is going to be out. SmackDown is going to be there. We're going to have fun. And you will not be disappointed. You're going to be entertained. You're going to be happy. I want to see Sami Callihan versus Moose. That's a very good one, Chris. I'd like to see it too, 110%. Would love to see it. Chris says, I see Roman keeping the title until WrestleMania. Look at that. D-Star, just like I say, D-Star is my spirit animal. We think alike. We know what we're talking about. We just, I don't know. It just reads my mind. Either D-Star reads my mind or I read his. But this is exactly what I said. I see it happening. Chris, do you see it happening? Anybody else sees it happening? Let me know. Jacob says, hey, AJ, can we play 2K22 after SmackDown in Nick's friend? I don't know who Nick's friend is, but we can definitely play. I'll let you know. Friday, yes, the game's coming out next week. Should be good. Oh, Chris also sees Roman Reigns carrying the championship all the way next year to fight The Rock. That's awesome. I see it happening, and I want for it to happen. I want to see Jon Moxley versus Roman versus Seth for AEW and WWE Universal Championship. That's very sweet. Very sweet. There you go. Thank you so much for the love. Roman can beat Moose. I don't know. This match would be crazy. A match that Moose has been wanting for the longest time. You know what? WWE had this opportunity to give us a bit of a face-to-face between Moose and Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble, especially since they had some kind of working relationship. Oh my gosh, by the way, got some distraction out here. Mickie James not feeling super comfortable about what's going on ringside. A bit of a stare down here. Dear, oh dear. Look at that. The official. Where is the official? What is he doing? Somebody get rid of this official. Where is Mr. Brandon Toll? He's the best official out there. This guy, she's a joke of an official. Yeah, he fails as an official. No, bad job. Bad stuff. Bad officiating. And that is why a bad result to the match. Chelsea Green actually loses it. She loses the match, guys. She loses it. There you go. Chelsea Green has lost the match. That's it. Chelsea Green has lost the match. She's lost it. Absolutely, yeah. I think that it's a matter of time before they sign her, for sure. What do you do if Dean returns? Will face Rock at WrestleMania 39, not The Rock. Hey, it will be just as big of a match, but I do think it's gonna be The Rock. I think it's gonna be The Rock versus Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. I don't see why it wouldn't happen. I think they've been working on it, the Tribal Chief, everything else. I think it's just been one of those long-term storylines that people are going to be looking back at 10, 20 years later, and they're going to be seeing, you remember that time when Roman Reigns was champion for like 2-3 years with the whole Tribal Chief thing? That thing was awesome. I think that's what they're doing here with Roman Reigns' championship reign. It's been so long. It's been so stretched. There have been moments when it would have been okay for Roman to lose, but he never lost those times, and I don't expect for him to drop the championship anytime soon until he goes on to Los Angeles, he goes on to California, he goes to Hollywood and faces The Rock at WrestleMania 39. I don't see him losing. I don't see him dropping the championship at all. Yeah, absolutely. And Bobby says, I was happy to see, Rose today on Impact Wrestling. That's right. I was happy to see her too. She looked good. She looked energetic. She looked confident. Has definitely been improving as a champion. I mean, as a wrestler all these times. She's been doing great. And, the fact that she made it to Impact Wrestling really shows that she is going to go to places and she's going to do good. Only going to get better with time. So big up to her. And she has wrestled at AEW as well, Impact Wrestling, Reality of Wrestling, Thunder Rosa Company. That's right, there you go, all these companies. Isn't that beautiful, Bobby? Love it. Yeah, I think Roman will lose at SummerSlam. What? True. What are you saying? No. Let's not go there. They have another championship, which is the WWE Championship. We can give it to Brock or we can give it to other people, but let's keep the Universal Championship with Roman Reigns. I hope they do, but True says that he thinks that Roman will lose at SummerSlam and maybe it will be back later. Rock versus Roman doesn't need, that's true. Look, that's true. Rock versus Roman Reigns does not need the championship. But you know what else is true? When the championship is involved, it just makes it so much better. You know that for sure, right? When the championship is involved, that makes it better. But here's another thing. That few people are going to be complaining about, and I could be one of them, so I'm going to say it right now. If the rumor goes around, or if the dirt sheets start reporting on how The Rock is not going to be available after WrestleMania, and it turns out to be a championship match at WrestleMania, what's going to be happening is that everybody's going to predict that, hey, you know what? Since Rock is busy after Mania, there is no chance that he's winning the championship, and that's why we already know who's going to win, and that's why it makes the main event super predictable. So that would be a flaw. In that case, the championship match should not happen. There should be just a regular match. But if The Rock is available after Mania and he can actually do some shows, or at least he can pretend like he's available after Mania, then make it a championship match. For sure. And who do you think will be the next WWE champion after Rock or Roman lost in WrestleMania 39? That's a long shot. I mean, Universal Champion, who could it be, the next guy? I don't know, but from what I'm seeing right now, it's so many names popping up, right? So many of them. Why not have Solo be involved somehow. Solo right now is NXT 2.0. Again, the family of the whole tribal chief, the Samoan family, belongs to the very same family. So Solo actually having a run with the championship, making his debut, winning the championship right away would be pretty damn epic, wouldn't it? I'd be all in for it, for sure. Jacob says maybe we will have Big Dog back after Roman lost at WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood. Look at that. Why not? Why? But you know what, Jacob? Let's not do it. Roman Reigns as a tribal chief is beautiful, is great. I mean, I'm looking at your profile picture right now, and I'm seeing Roman Reigns right there. That's your tribal chief. That's the guy you should acknowledge. The Big Dog was nobody. So, no, I don't want the Big Dog back. I don't want the Big Dog back. I'm happy with the tribal chief Roman Reigns. He can stay. He can stay. Savannah Evans needs to get in the title picture. If there has been somebody who said the absolute truth tonight, it's true. Savannah Evans needs that title picture for sure. 100%. D-Star says, unless they throw a serve and have Brock win it, and then do a Brock versus Rock at Hollywood, wow, that's got to be crazy. But I have a question for all of you since, D-Star just mentioned Brock versus Rock, and he says that Brock is still the bigger draw in WWE and also mainstream. I have a question. So what they're promoting right now, they're promoting this match between Roman Reigns and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 38 as the biggest WrestleMania match of all time. They're promoting it as the biggest WrestleMania match ever. Do you think it really is the biggest match? Because I don't know if I'm wrong or I'm missing out on something, but I have not been the most excited about this match. I've said this on record before. I've said that, you know what, guys, Roman versus Brock. We've seen it before. We've seen it a few times already. So I don't know if there's much to be excited about. But not only are we getting excited about it, which is good, but they're promoting it as the biggest match in WrestleMania history ever. I think that's a bit of a stretch. Now, is it only me who considered this to be a big of a stretch, or do you also feel the same way? Let me know. What do you think? But I definitely think that we've seen bigger matches at WrestleMania than Roman versus Brock. We've seen Rock versus Cena. We've seen, Stone Cold put out some great matches. We've seen the end of the career. We've seen a lot of matches that I would argue are bigger than Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. I'm sorry, but I just see it that way. Let me know if you agree with me. Look at these yes chants. The yes chants going wild with Jacob. Look at that. Yes, Roman lost it. So, wow. Okay, Jacob wants Roman Reigns to lose at SummerSlam. Who do you think will Roman face at SummerSlam or Money in the Bank or WrestleMania? Jacob, lots of good questions here. You know what? I would think that they would kind of try to recycle the WrestleMania rivalries for WrestleMania Backlash. So perhaps another Brock Lesnar match. Perhaps we'll see what happens. Chris says Cardano's taking the digital media title everywhere except Impact. He said, wow, Cardano is a true heel, isn't he? Gotta love Cardano. And again, this is not Zack Ryder. This is not the same old guy. Cardano is a different animal, a different beast altogether. Much love to him. AJ, Daniel Kamela have trained with Tessa Blanchard. Look at that. Tessa Blanchard. That shows, yeah? It's beautiful. Beautiful. And Jacob says, yes, let's bring back the Big Dog or the Shield Roman. I'm okay with Shield Roman, but again, without the Shield Roman kind of pointless. The Big Dog, I could never get behind him. I know there was a time in 2015, 2016 when I would stop watching Raw. I stopped watching Raw for about a year because of the Big Dog. I was tired of WWE trying to push him down our throats. I remember WWE came to New York City with their SummerSlam week. And they had SummerSlam, they had NXT TakeOver, they had Raw, they had SmackDown, they had all these shows at the Barclays Center back to back. And you would buy a 4-day deal. It was a package for 4 days. I bought that package deal, but I only went to NXT, I went to SummerSlam, and I went to SmackDown. I skipped Raw because I didn't want to go and watch Roman Reigns. That's how much I started hating the Big Dog. So definitely don't want the Big Dog back. The Tribal Chief can stay forever. For sure. No more Big Dog says true. Absolutely agree. No more Big Dog. We've had enough. We've seen enough. Let's move on. Jacob says, when we will have Rock versus Brock. Yeah, D-Star said it. D-Star called it first. He said the Rock versus Brock could be happening. Would like to see it happen. I would like to see it too. That would be a crazy match. But again, let's also consider The Rock and the way he is with his Hollywood bookings and stuff. I mean, the last time The Rock wrestled at WrestleMania 29 and he fought John Cena, The Rock actually got canceled, and a lot of his film shootings and stuff got delayed, which caused a lot of harm to the production houses, and they had to incur a lot more cost because of the delay in production. It was just overall not good business for The Rock. So he'd be very careful against who he's stepping into the ring with at WrestleMania. If it's Roman Reigns, it's his cousin. They would have a great chemistry already. They'd know what to do. But with Brock Lesnar and the kind of suplexes that he hits, I don't think The Rock would feel super comfortable, and he would actually have a program with The Rock only because it'll be a brutal match and could actually risk his own injury. So I don't think that's going to happen. Masha Slamovich needs to be in the title picture. Yeah, I agree, Bobby. But you know what? I like the slow build. By the way, this guy right here, so good, so good. But Masha Slamovich, I feel like I kind of like the slow build of Masha. I think she's doing a good job, a very fine job. Gets on there, does a few squashes matches, just like this gentleman here did a little squash match right there. Squash matches are really building them up. They're doing good. People now recognize and know the name Masha Slamovich. I think she keeps it up for a few more times and then goes for the championship. I think it's going to be a lot more believable. I'm going to be on in for it. So would definitely like that. Jacob says, do you think Jimmy will help Roman or Rock? Oh, you know what? When this match happens, I expect the whole Samoan family, the tribe, to get involved some way, shape, or form. Let's see how it happens, but I do expect for it to happen. But I hope that doesn't change anything with the actual match, and it just stays good. But we'll see how it happens. And speaking of that, PCO right now making his way to the ring. PCO is out here walking down the ramp. He looks crazy as he always does. And D-Star says, there's no way, the biggest match in WrestleMania history. Austin Rock still, exactly, right? And that's why when they say that this is the biggest match, I cannot buy it. I want to buy it. I always want to buy into the WrestleMania hype, because the WrestleMania hype is all that we're all about. But again, I don't buy it. I don't buy that this is the biggest match in WrestleMania history. Not at all. Not at all. Absolutely not. No way. And Jacob says, I have maybe Stone versus Rock versus Universal Championship. Look at that. Yep. Broke that Stone Cold. I don't see him happening. I don't see him coming, but let's see. By the way, PCO is being destroyed right now, thanks to Jonah. Look at that. And True says Brock versus Roman is mostly hype unless we see them do something different in the ring. Exactly, right? We've seen it before. We're gonna see it again. I don't know if there's gonna be a lot of freshness, a lot of newness here, but we've seen it before. We're just seeing it again. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully they can prove me wrong. Hopefully they put on a better picture. But let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, and moving on with Angela. All right, so Bobby here says, Rachel Rose should wrestle against Deonna Purrazzo. That would be a pretty cool match as well. Why not? Deonna Purrazzo, with so many people, they can put on some great matches, and I'm all in for it, 100%. And did you see that? What happened on TV right now? The guy just literally destroyed PCO right in front of our very eyes. But PCO, being the Frankenstein he is, I mean, he knows no quit. He knows no pain. And he got right back up. And for his age, PCO looks in a great shape. He looks good. He looks fantastic. PCO is amazing. He's great. Moving on, Jacob says, do you think Roman will face Stone Cold at SummerSlam? I don't think so. And especially with the... By the way, since Jacob... Thank you, Jacob, for bringing this up. Since Jacob brought up Stone Cold, I want to ask you guys this question. Is the Dirt Sheets now turning the tables against the fans? Are the Dirt Sheets actually playing the fans now? Is that what's happening? Because for the longest time, we'd been seeing the Dirt Sheets, being hated by the wrestling companies, and they would go on to criticize the Dirt Sheets and say that it's ruining the business and whatnot. But now what I feel is that these wrestling promotions are actually using the Dirt Sheets for their own good. And I feel like the Dirt Sheets are more wrestling promotions oriented than they are fan oriented. Gone are the days when you would actually be able to rely on the Dirt Sheets. Now it's more of Dirt Sheets selling the promotions shows. You looked at Pat McAfee, for example. You look at Pat McAfee, Vince McMahon interview, right? Did you see all those rumors and all that stuff? It was not even a rumor. They were putting it out there as if it was a spoiler. A match between Vince McMahon and Pat McAfee. The seeds are gonna be planted during the interview, whatnot. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. I feel like dirt sheets sometimes they play the devil's advocate and they get fans to buy into the hype somehow. And that's why I say anything you read on these dirt sheets on the internet, be cautious because sometimes they're just trying to play with your emotions and get you invested into the match rather than giving you information. So you got to be mindful of what you want to buy into and what you don't. That's right. Why don't I like Big Dog? I think a lot of the people here watching this right now could answer this for me, but I feel like the tribal chief is on a whole nother level. The big dog just, the name, as the name suggests. I know that Roman Reigns is a big dog, he's a big guy, but again, there is so much wrong with the entire thing, the attire, the look, the persona, the personality. He looked more of a nerd than anything else. He didn't look like a badass. And right now, the tribal chief looks like a badass. And I know, Jacob, you agree with me. The big dog just didn't cut it for anybody. William Regal, Danny Burke, and Timothy Thatcher should go to Impact for sure. And can you imagine William Regal going anywhere? Hey, you know what? Now that Tony Khan owns ROH, William Regal might as well go to ROH. Anything can happen. And I'm all in for it, brother. You have a bad background. Jacob, always turning heel on me after all that I've done a bad... Oh my gosh, Jacob. In 2014, MVP debuted at a faction called the Beat Down Clan. Who was the 7 other members? So Jamie here with some trivia. If you guys know the answer to it, let Jamie know it. Jamie is gonna be shipping a personal prize to all of you, I guess. Right, Jamie? What's in it for us? Are we gonna win something? But Jamie here playing trivia with you guys. Jamie's awesome. I'm going to play 2K20. Have fun, Jacob. Have fun with the glitches. Jesse okay. Yep, Bobby, I agree. Another good name out there. We could be seeing her sooner than later, especially with the open challenges. They just open the door to everybody. They open the door to so many talented women. It's great. Love it. I've always been a fan of open challenges, and if they're done right, like they're being done right now by Deonna Purrazzo, I'm all in for it. Drew says, I guess Rock and Cena versus the Wyatt family, WrestleMania 32 doesn't count since Rock didn't take any bumps. That's right. The funniest thing ever, right? Yeah. But that match was pretty sweet because not only did it make history as the shortest WrestleMania match of all times, but we actually got to see a Rock match without any build-up, without any kind of stuff. We just literally got to see the Rock perform. That was pretty sweet. I liked it. I popped hard. It was great. And WrestleMania should be all about that. Those surprises, the sweet movements, the sweet pops. Great stuff. All in for it. JD Star says, that's a good point. I don't know if the Rock's management team will allow him to wrestle again. He tore some muscle last time versus Cena, which delayed the movie shootings and cost millions. That's right. You have to look at the business perspective as well. Got to look through that lens. But again, they're going to Hollywood, and it would be such a shame if they cannot get their star who turned into the biggest star in Hollywood, Dwayne Johnson, on their show. They should. They must, and I think they will. They'll do everything to make it happen. And I think, The Rock would also be proud to perform in front of his friends and in front of his colleagues in Hollywood, in front of the millions and the millions watching across the globe at his own place, his own home of Hollywood for the WWE, where he started at first. I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Undefeated in the champ challenge.
Look at that. Deonna Purrazzo.
Frost, Miranda Alizé, and Santana Garrett. So it doesn't matter who walks on through the curtain Saturday night.
After the beating that I gave Lady Frost, you were merely doing cleanup. You're living the...
Do we know who's actually challenging on this Saturday night? It seems like we do now. Giselle Shaw is going to be the one?
Here, right?
What?
Look, you're talking to the champ. And if you don't know what that means, you're brain dead. But stick around long enough.
It seems like... Are we getting this match? Oh, we're not.
Giselle Shaw, does this mean you'll be answering the champ challenge? No, it does not mean
Wait.
you'll be answering the Champ Challenge because, Giselle, you and I have unfinished business.
What the hell?
I know you adore the
Okay,
spotlight
so
much,
Giselle
but
Shaw
I
actually
don't
came
care.
out. She wanted to fight Deonna Purrazzo,
And they approve the
apparently
match
for the
this
open
Saturday,
challenge,
versus me. And
but
after I lay you out in the
Deonna
sun,
said you have to be around for a bit longer. You have to earn that respect, rise up the ranks before you can actually challenge me for the championship. And it seems like she was about to, actually say it that yes, I'm gonna be going after her title. But before she could say it, we saw Lady Frost come out there and she said, "You know what? No, you're not doing it because on Saturday you've got a date with me. We're going on a date and we're actually fighting one-on-one in a singles match. It's gonna be unfinished business that's gonna be put and it's gonna be settled this Saturday." So Sacrifice, it takes place this Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to tune in. I'm going to be live to watch the show with all of you. As always, we'll have some fun together watching Impact Wrestling Sacrifice this Saturday. So make sure to tune in. And what else do we have here? Chris says, Austin Theory didn't even appear like Dirt Sheets said. That's what I'm saying. The Dirt Sheets, and I've been seeing it's been a trend now, the Dirt Sheets have been selling the fans false information when it comes to the shows, when it comes to things like that. And it seems like they're not doing it to give fans info, but they're doing it to really sell these shows and storylines to the fans now. They're working and they're in the same bed with the promotions now. That's what it seems like, and I cannot be wrong about it. As the owner of Wrasslinews for 5+ years, I have been approached by a lot of promotions as well to put out news for them and stuff like that. It's just part of the game. They want you to put out news and they want you to talk about their thing. And I guess that's what the new approach is for the WWE, to reach out to Dirt Sheets and do a bit of an indirect marketing through their news stories, right? And get people talking. I guess that's what's happening here. And True says, I know most of the beat. Oh, look at that. True knows it. True knows it. Look at True is awesome for a reason. MVP, Lashley, Kenny King, Low Key, Samoa Joe. Anybody else knows this one? Let me know. Bobby says, if Sarah Logan doesn't set up Deonna Purrazzo in Impact Wrestling, I have two names, Angelina Love or Giselle Shaw. Cool, Bobby. Sure, these are some solid, good names. Gotta be looking forward to it. And I don't think it's gonna be Angelina. I don't think it's gonna be Giselle anymore after what we just saw. I think what we have left, according to your theory, which I definitely agree with, I think Sarah Logan is a very likable challenger, and a challenger that I would pop for really hard. I think a lot of fans would pop hard for Sarah Logan. And let's go, Sarah Logan. Let's make it happen. D-Star says, fair play to The Rock, though. Went from Rocky chance to introducing the Super Bowl on the pitch. That's right. I mean, The Rock has done a great job from being locked out of his house, being homeless for a bit, to now earning millions and millions and being the highest paid actor in all of Hollywood, in all of wrestling. And, earning respect everywhere he goes. People love The Rock. They talk good stuff about him. I mean, it's hard to survive in the industry, especially the entertainment industry. It's not easy. You talk about surviving in this industry. It's not easy. It's not easy for an actor, an actress. It's not easy for a wrestler. It's not easy for a YouTuber, I'll tell you that. Lots of stuff that goes around, the politics and lots of the schedule, everything, right? So it's not easy. And big up to The Rock, who has defied the odds and done such a good job with everything that he's done. Good stuff. Rock, you're awesome. Giselle Shaw, look at that. No, but Bobby, Giselle Shaw is going to be fighting Lady Frost, so that's not happening. Your prediction was right, almost, but before she could say that, yes, I'm going to be challenging her, Lady Frost comes in and says that, no, we've got a date. Saturday at Sacrifice, we're going one-on-one, lady, and that's what's happening. Do you see Ray and Miz going to the Hall of Fame in Hollywood? No, not The Miz. I don't see it happening. I think Miz still has a career ahead of himself. I think he still has some world title runs left in him. Hopefully longer world title runs this time and more memorable ones. But Rey Mysterio could happen. But again, the Hall of Fames most of the times are very much, location oriented. If they're going to, let's say, their hometown, they would want to, induct them. So for Rey Mysterio to get inducted in Hollywood, I mean, does he live there? Is there his current residence in Hollywood? Let me know. But I would think that they would wait until there's more of a Latin audience, or his hometown something, for his Hall of Fame induction. We'll have to see and wait and see. Do you see Samoa Joe going back to ROH? Yeah, for sure. ROH is coming and is going to be in good hands, apparently. So I think wrestlers would love to go back there, for sure. But can I just say one thing real quick? Since we're talking about ROH and the world is talking about ROH right now, ROH is a promotion that only was known in America. For the longest time, only Americans knew about it. Then the UK people got to know about it. Then the Aussies got to know about it. Then the people who watch wrestling really hardcore, they got to know about it. And now the world knows about ROH, and that's because of AEW. Big up to Tony Khan. But I want to say one thing, and that's that there's one guy, there's one wrestler, there is one wrestler who gave his life, who gave everything he had to ROH. And to bring ROH to the point where it is at today, right? I mean, it's going to be deep promotion out there for sure. So there's one wrestler who's given everything to ROH, and I don't think that we should be forgetting about him. As we talk about ROH, we should always keep him in our minds and our hearts, because that guy did everything he could to put ROH on the map and to make it deep promotion. I'm talking about Jimmy Rave, who we recently lost. He had a very tough life. He was one of the greatest heels out there. Jimmy Rave was a special guy. I mean, he worked with the likes of CM Punk, with Bryan Danielson, and everybody left for bigger promotions and whatnot. But Jimmy Rave stayed. He said that he was going to be an ROH loyalist. He was going to be there for the longest time, and he was. He stuck around, and he wanted to help the promotion. And he gave the promotion his life, basically. He's no longer with us, but now that we talk about ROH, I want everybody to talk about Jimmy Rave and let your fellow wrestling fans know who Jimmy Rave was. Look him up, talk about him, because I know if he's looking down upon us right now, from the above, and he's smiling as he watches ROH, people talk about ROH and see ROH being successful now. I know that he'd be happy if he sees that people acknowledge him and they appreciate all the sacrifice that he's made, ultimately the sacrifice of his entire life, right? So big up to Jimmy Rave. I mean, this guy worked through injuries, took no days off, worked with a fractured, a broken jaw. I mean, all that gruesome injuries, he worked through it all. He never complained, kept working. That is what Jimmy Rave was all about. So, just remember the name Jimmy Rave whenever you talk about ROH. That was a bit of a rant, but you know what I mean. Jimmy Rave, long live, man. Bobby says, I would like to see Trish Adora and Mandy Lee. Oh, wow. Sweet. AJ, who do you want to see wrestle against Deonna Purrazzo? Man, we've been talking about it. I am definitely going with Sarah Logan. I want Sarah Logan for sure, Bobby. And I hope that she actually answers the challenge. I'd pop hard. Absolutely would. There you go, Jamie. Yep, that's right. And True says Rey Mysterio is from Oh, there we go. Makes sense, right? True, thanks for letting me know. That makes a lot of sense. I'm looking forward to watching Swerve, the realist wrestling, at Ring of Honor on April 1st. Swerve, also the nicest guy out there. He's such a nice guy. And I'm going to be looking forward to it as well. Ring of Honor, April 1st. It's tricky slope, right? Because April 1st, you've got a lot of stuff going on, if I'm not wrong. Let me look it up real quick. April 1st. All right. So, April 1st, it turns out to be Friday. And April 1st is when we're going to get SmackDown, and we're going to get the WWE Hall of Fame, and we're also getting Ring of Honor. So, it's going to be tricky. Who's going to tune into what, right? That's going to be the question. So much wrestling in one day, it's tricky for sure. Yeah. But what do you guys think about Hall of Fame, being included as a part of SmackDown? Do you think it's a good look? Do you think it's the right decision? Does the Hall of Fame deserve its own unique show, a unique night for itself? Let me know, what do you think? And Eric Young right now making his way to the ring, looking angry, looking determined, looking focused. He's making his way to the ring, looking to make an impact right here at Impact Wrestling. It seems like this is the final match of the night. This seems to be the match, the wrestling match of the night. And it's going to be a tag team match, which is even better. We can expect some chaos between the Bullet Club and, of course, these people right here, the Violent guys. Should be a good match. Let's see how it all goes out. Let's see how it all turns out. This match is gonna make it or break it. This match is gonna have wrestling fans tuning in to Saturday Sacrifice, or they're probably not. Let's see what happens. Let's see how well this match takes place, how it goes. But I'm all in for it. Bullet Club will be in AEW, Impact Wrestling, NJPW, and probably ROH once again. 100% agree with you, True. Bullet Club is the Bullet Club for a reason. Yes, they definitely took some. They did get some hurt, by their members betraying them or leaving them behind and going to other promotions. But Bullet Club definitely is here to stay, and they are Bullet Club for a reason. I mean, they keep their name strong, they keep their name alive, and they keep the tradition going. The tradition of making history. It's amazing. D-Star says, I think the Hall of Fame being part of SmackDown is a Nick Khan money-saving aspect. I agree. But you know what, D? I really am confused with the whole production thing because these are live shows. And for Hall of Fame, you'd see the red carpet, you'd see the paparazzis, you'd see, the stage. So the stage where the fans usually are seated, the floor seatings, they're not there, right? For the Hall of Fame, instead of the floor seatings, you see chairs all over and the wrestlers sitting around and the staff sitting around and families sitting around and just listening to the, Hall of Famers, the inductees, delivering their Hall of Fame speech, basically. That's how you'd actually see an arena. And then you'd see the fans sitting in the upper sections. You'd see them sitting in those seats, not on the floor, but the seats. But here, not tonight, sorry, but here on April 1st, with SmackDown happening, and then right after it, Hall of Fame happening, are we gonna not have fans sitting in the floor sections for SmackDown? Or are we not gonna have the celebrities and the wrestlers and the staff and the families sitting, on the chairs in front of the stage? What's gonna happen? I don't know, because the production is gonna be a big one. Oh, look.
Decisions, and I don't know if any of them have ever been worse.
Scott
than
D'Amore.
This wrestling match.
Scott D'Amore is here.
Because it's clearly no way that this match is going to take place tonight.
That's right. No way, no way in hell. And you know what? There was no way in hell we were ending the night without my man, Too Sweet, Pistol Pete. Too Sweet, good to see you, brother. Too Sweet, you. Hope you're doing well. Craziness going on right now. A no disqualification match right now. It's going to be a battle. I think that, you know what, I like it when we get matches like these, but I just must say that sometimes it gets too overwhelming and too many people in the ring can just get confusing, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. So, yeah, let's see. Do you think Roxy Levick's answering? Actually, I'm not very familiar with the name, unfortunately, so let me look it up. 1 second. Sometimes I'm not very good with the names, and I know the person, but I can't put the name to the face of the name. Yeah, I'm not too sure about this lady, actually, unfortunately. I'll have to look her up, follow her work, and get back to you on this, Chris. Not too sure. Okay, but so far I can see that she's built good. I mean, she looks like a strong, dominant wrestler. Must be good. And let's see. If she's good, I'd like to see her against Deonna. From what I saw, the little pictures that I saw, it seems like she's got some personality too, so that's nice. Sarah Logan should step up against Deonna Purrazzo. Then you can interview her, Bobby. You're right, brother. Absolutely would love to interview Sarah Logan. And you know what? I'll tell you something. I've done so many interviews, right? I've interviewed the likes of Charlotte Flair, Edge, Drew McIntyre. By the way, my favorite interview was Drew McIntyre. But I must say, the interview that I did with Deonna Purrazzo was like butter. Because a lot of times when I'm interviewing these people, the energy doesn't really match up or the kayfabe level doesn't match up. I like to keep kayfabe alive in these interviews. And Deonna Purrazzo, when I sat down for an interview with her, she kept kayfabe alive. And her energy just matched mine, and it was just beautiful. So Deonna Purrazzo, definitely I had a lot of fun interviewing her. She's a great interviewee, and I'd like to have her back on the show one day. She's awesome. I haven't seen cowboy boots in the ring since Dusty Rhodes. Yeah, that's right. And speaking of cowboy boots, we saw the Hardcore Country some time back, Mickie James, and she had her whole cowboy gear, the attire, the hat, looking on point. Mickie James is defending her title this Saturday at Sacrifice, so don't forget to tune in. Impact Wrestling this Saturday, Sacrifice. at 8 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to be here doing a watch along like I always do, so make sure to tune in. True says they'll have the WWE Hall of Fame set up like DX got inducted with the ring in the middle of the. Yeah, that's what it seems like, right? True. Wasn't a big fan of it. It took place in New York City. It took place, I believe, Barclays Center. Yeah, Barclays Center. I actually was there, but yeah, it just got too much for me. I was a bit jet lagged, and I, had stuff to do, and I skipped on that Hall of Fame ceremony. I couldn't attend it. And the funniest part is, or the sad part is, I came to know that one of the fan jumped in. The fans jumped in. One of the fans jumped in and tried to attack one of the Hart family, and that was the saddest part. I'm thinking that what, this is what we don't need, especially this time of the night, this time of the year. Hall of Fame, the time when wrestlers, after giving their all to us in the ring for years and years and decades, finally they come out here accepting their award and being inducted into the most sacred and prestigious Hall of Fame in all of the industry, and a fan tries to ruin the moment. That was really bad. And it happened, and I'm glad that I wasn't there live, because I would have gone out there and beat the hell out of the fan, right? Or Roxy was one of the first TO. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, cool. Is the Japanese wrestling any good? You know what? Unfortunately, it's so much wrestling going on, so I don't get to watch a lot of NJPW. But I believe that everybody watching this right now might be able to help you out. Help us out. Help Too Sweet Pistol Pete out. Help Wrassing out. Is the Japanese wrestling, the NJPW shows that happen here and there weekly, are they good? Are they worth tuning into? Are they worth having a watch along for? Let me know. Bobby says, Deonna Purrazzo Open Challenge are great. I'm happy that she opened the opportunity for everybody. I agree. And when I spoke with Maria Canellis when she signed as the EVP, or am I right? Yeah, well, one of the board of director members at ROH, Maria said that the door's open for everybody. It's open for everybody. All the women's wrestlers out there who want to make a name for themselves, who want to be on ROH, the door's open for everybody. You talk about the forbidden door, there is no door. And that's what they're doing now with the Impact Wrestling as well. They're doing a beautiful job, and they're doing it better than any promotion has ever done it. So Impact Wrestling, big up to them. And Deonna Purrazzo, you're awesome. If you're watching this right now, you're awesome. Why don't pirates take a shower before they walk the plank? Because they just wash it up on shore. That's right, Jamie. And that's not a joke. That's a fact. That's a fact, Jamie. Maybe Taylor Wilde steps up against Deonna Purrazzo. Taylor Wilde is my wild card. That's a big one. That's a big one. But again, I think I'm going to go with your first pick. That was Sarah Logan. I'm going to go wild. I'm going to go crazy about it. I'm going to pop hard. You got to watch me pop hard, on the watch along this Saturday. Going to be here live for it. Let's hope that it's not a disappointment. Let's hope that the surprise is going to be worth it. Probably better than Raw. Oh my gosh, the 3 hours of hell every Monday with Monday Night Raw. It's sweet. I wonder what Jeff Hardy will be called in the next promotion. Probably going to be called Jeff Hardy. I think so. Doesn't he own the name? I think he owns the name, right? If I'm not wrong. Jeff Hardy does own his own name, so I think he'll be fine. Yeah. Let's see. Does he own his name? There we go. You know what? His real name is Jeff Nero Hardy. So yeah, he will be called Jeff Hardy. That's for sure. That's for sure. One of the only wrestlers, or very few wrestlers, who has been able to use their real names in the WWE and elsewhere. So Jeff Hardy is the one lucky guy. Japanese wrestling is damn good, except for the death matches, in my opinion. Would you like for me to do NJPW watch-alongs? I mean, the ones that happen weekly, I believe they're happening, right? Would you like for me to cover those? If yes, I can definitely look into it, guys. But let me know if you'd like for me to do those. And speaking of death matches, I'm not in for them at all. I cannot watch them. I squint, I close my eyes, I look away whenever I see a death match and one of those crazy things. I can't watch it. It's not for me. I know some people like them. I know wrestlers like them. Some wrestlers are into them. I can't. It's too much. Too much, right? Too much. Oh, Too Sweet Pistol Pete says, let's do it, brother. Let's do it. Okay. All right, let's do it. Anybody who watches NJPW can help me with the schedule. Let me know when they go on and stuff like that, so I know what I'm signing up for. Otherwise, I'm going to look it up later myself and see if we can do it. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for the suggestions. Thank you for the support, the encouragement, the love. You guys are awesome. And just like I said, I'm going to be live every time there's a breaking big wrestling story, or there's one of these shows out there, because Every time there's something going on in the world of pro wrestling, I'm gonna be here talking about it. And this is the third time that we have gone live today. And, the first two times it was for breaking news, and today, right now, we're watching Impact Wrestling. Good stuff. Sweet stuff. I was happy Deonna Purrazzo talking about Santana Garrett and Miranda Alice and Lady Frost. Three great wrestlers, talented wrestlers. That's for sure, Bobby. 100%. So Chris, catching me off guard here. Look, there are exceptions. There are exceptions. Some matches that I'm totally in for. There are exceptions, all right? But again, with the whole pizza cutter stuff, maybe not. But, Moxley is a magician in the ring, so big up to him. But also, you have to consider Moxley and the kind of background that he comes from, right? CZW and whatnot. So Moxley is good. He's great. And, expect big things from Moxley for sure. 100% for sure. One of the women people expect to go to AEW will show up in Impact and beat Deonna for one of those titles. That's right, true, 100%. That is accurate. And speaking of that, guys, we're we have moved the Wrassing show to Fridays. So on Friday, we're going to be getting a brand new episode of the Wrassing show. And this time we're going to be joined for the first time ever by a Singh. The guest on the show is a Singh for the first time ever. Wrassing and Mr. Singh are going to lay it all down. We're going to talk some wrestling, some UK independent scene, some NXT UK, all that crazy stuff. So make sure to tune in as Mr. Singh joins Mr. Singh on the Wrassing show. Check it out. One of the women people expect to go to AEW will show up on Impact and beat Deonna for one of those titles. It's true. For sure. True. Sarah Logan should put up the ROH Women's Championship. That is my prediction. That's a bold prediction, and I'm all in for it, Bobby. For sure. Adding NJPW on top of WWE Impact Wrestling Overloaded, but that will see at D-Star. You're not signing up for it yet, but we'll see. And True says NJPW strong. I believe he has shows on Saturdays. Look, if it's on Saturdays, it's very much doable, right? I'll look into it. Thank you, True. We'll let you know, D-Star, if we're doing these shows, yeah? You guys are awesome. Much love to everybody. Yeah. I have been fan of this whole show throughout. I've enjoyed the show. I've loved the show. I've said great things about the show. But I also will say it right now that the ending match didn't do it for me. Too many people, a bit confusing. And I'm just going to say it very honestly as it is. It was confusing and not the best way to, I don't know, maybe they just wanted to go all out, selling sacrifice to us with this crazy main event. But I feel like it was a bit too confusing for me. Look, now we're looking at the backstage area, the Bullet Club's fighting, the Good Brothers fighting, and we're also looking at what's happening in the ring. A bit too much, right? A bit too much to digest, for sure. My prediction is Giselle Shaw will challenge Deonna. That's for sure. It's very doable. But again, so do you expect Deonna to hold on to the titles until June or July? That's going to be tricky because if Tony Khan brings ROH and, starts running ROH regularly, then Deonna might have to drop the title sooner than later. We'll have to see. So it depends on how Tony Khan does his stuff with the ROH promotion. We'll have to see. Is it Ranjan Singh? I wanted that interview last night. Or Gama Singh. Chris, I'm going to keep it a surprise, man. Let me keep it a surprise, all right? So, but an interview with one of these things from Impact Wrestling is going to happen. It's not a wrestler from Impact Wrestling. I'm just going to tell you, it's a wrestler from the UK indie scene. A wrestler who really knows his wrestling, has been a fan, has attended numerous WrestleManias and WWE shows as a fan, met his heroes like John Cena and Styles, and now is living the dream, has competed against the likes of Pete Dunne in the wrestling ring when Pete Dunne was the NXT UK champion. He is an awesome guy, and being an Indian and being a wrestler, it's not the easiest thing ever. He talks about all of that. He talks about peer pressure. He talks about wrestling not being liked or maybe liked by his peers. Talks about the UK indie scene, how hard or easy it is to break in, training, and more. So make sure to tune in this Friday as Mr. Singh joins Mr. Singh on the Wrassing podcast. That's right. Chris Bay versus Kofi Kingston. Who wins? That's a big one. I will have to say Chris Bay. I think Chris Bay. Who do you think? Who do you think? That's right. Big up the UK. That's right. This guy's from the UK, from Birmingham, to be accurate. From Birmingham, he did his. It's a funny thing because I had no idea that there is this place called Leicester in the UK, which has a big independent wrestling scene going on in Leicester. So this guy, oh, by the way, Bullet Club have won the match. They've won the match. And with that being said, the show has come to an end. It's been a very good show so far. I loved this show. It was a nice, solid, sweet go-home show for Sacrifice. But again, it could have been done better with a main event. But again, wrestling fans always complain, so it's okay. But this guy he moved all the way from Birmingham to Leicester to wrestle there and to get some training. It's interesting. You'll see a lot from hear a lot of the UK independent scene, a lot of it from him. And if you're from the UK, you might actually get to know a few things here and there, some Easter eggs and whatnot. So make sure to tune in. The interview comes out very soon. Thank you, Chris. Thank you. Lana Austin, that's a big one. Yeah, I'm gonna try reaching out, Bobby. Absolutely. Thank you. Leicester and Birmingham, those are literally local to me. Really? Oh, that's awesome, D-Star. That's awesome. You never know, man. They're still talking about WrestleMania or SummerSlam being in the UK. So I hope that they come down to the UK with one of those big events and you get to go there. Would love that. Deonna versus Sarah Logan for the ROH Women's World Champion needs to happen. There we go. Bobby has said it numerous times already. Impact Wrestling, if you're watching this right now, we need Deonna and we need Sarah Logan for the World Championship this Saturday at Sacrifice. Make it happen. I know who it is, buddy. What? Chris. No, you tell me who it is. I don't know how you do this. You're like I don't know if you know this app. It's called the Akinator. So you tell the app or the Akinator a few things about the person you're thinking in your mind, and the Akinator tells you that who it is, right? And that's what it feels like with Chris. I told a few things about this person that I had in my mind about him, and Chris already knows who the person is. That's very interesting. And with that being said, guys, Impact Wrestling now off the air. That was our go-home show for the upcoming Impact Wrestling Sacrifice pay-per-view, which comes out this Saturday. I'm gonna be watching it live with all of you, so make sure to tune in. And as I said, guys, these watch-alongs are only gonna get better. Oh my gosh, that is right, Wrassing. I don't know how Chris did it, but Wrassing is joining us on the Wrassing show tomorrow. That is Friday. He's coming on here, and he's going to be talking some wrestling. He's a great guy. Make sure you don't miss out on this interview because it's going to be a good one. That's awesome. Chris, you're awesome. And I'm going to rate this episode of Impact Wrestling a 6 out of, oh my God, D-Star. Just like I said, D-Star just knows me so well. I said 6 out of 10, and D-Star gives it a 6 out of 10 too. I enjoyed it a whole lot, but I think some things could have been better. I think the match that we got with Heath Slater was really slow-paced, bad booking. Heath Slater should do better, especially when he's facing Moose this Saturday in a few days. So I'm going to take some points of the Heath Slater match. The first match was beautiful. The ending was chaotic, but it was a good show. 6 out of 10 for sure. And I'd like to know how the rest of you guys rated. D-Star and I agree with the 6 out of 10 rating. Chris, you're awesome, man. You're a magician. Bobby, you're awesome. Sarah Logan, great wrestler. Would love to see her there. Bobby gives it a 10 out of 10. Look at that. Awesome. Yeah, you're right. And Bobby called it, basically. His predictions were right, on point. AEW has been the best over the past few weeks. That's true too, Sweet Pistol Pete, my buddy. You're right. You guys are all awesome. You're incredible. So we saw a 6 out of 10 from myself, from D-Star, a 10 out of 10 from Bobby. I think overall what this means is that everybody's happy. Everybody enjoyed the show. 8 out of 10. Yeah, the main event was a mess. Yes, the Heat match was slow, not the best booking, but the show overall is tremendous. Had a lot of fun, and gents and ladies and gents, everybody who's watching this right now, loved watching the show with you. You guys are awesome. Jason is here. The Forbidden Door was used. That's right, Jason. I watched it too, and I was thinking, wow, that is the Forbidden Door. Is that the same door? That's crazy if it's the same door, but wow. Good stuff, guys. I must say, I had a great time doing this watch along with you guys. You guys were awesome, and I hope you are enjoying these watch alongs as much as I am. I'm getting to have these one-on-one interactions with all of you, and as I said, the watch alongs are only gonna get better. I have something up my sleeve which I cannot wait to unveil, and it's more than one thing. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for you to be a part of this ride as we take wrestling news up there. And of course, you know what? We have this special bond. All of you guys are a part of Wrestling News, part of the family, and I cannot be more grateful to you for all the support and the love. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for tuning in for our Impact Wrestling Watch Along. Look at that. True says 6. So yeah, I guess the whole thing, Jason gave it a 7 as well. So the whole show got basically a 6 or 7 out of 10. The average was right there. So satisfied. Everybody is satisfied with the show, but it could have been better. But it's been a good show, though. There was no boring movements, so that's good. And AJ, are you doing? That's right. I'm going to be here. Wrassing's going to be here round the clock every single day doing watch-alongs for Impact Wrestling Sacrifice this Saturday and Revolution this Sunday. So I'm going to be looking forward to seeing all of you and watching some wrestling with all of you this weekend. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good weekend. Have a good night. You guys take care. Sarah Logan must open the show. That's right. Tomorrow, Hari Singh joins us on the Wrassing show, so don't miss out. But just like I said, every time we're doing a watch along, every time there's Wrassing on the show, you know what it means. It is the Wrassing show. This is Wrassing. It was a pleasure calling the action with all of you. You're watching Wrestling News, and every time Wrassing is on here, it is the Wrassing show. Thank you so much, and have a good night.